everywhere I go. The people really wanna know who I is and who I be. They stop and stare when they see me. If it's said it once, no need to repeat. Run up on me, watch you fall to your knees. Tip my hat when it's time for the kill. Ain't no beast when you're really real. I am the boss, I am the dawn. I am the one they call Lucky Charm. Got my own shit, I don't need your farm. Life was so hard, it made me weak. Built to last, this girl ain't weak. Sturdy and still when I plant my feet. Got it out the mud, now it's racks in my sleep. Look to God, he supplies my needs. Endless faith is what brought me next level prosperity. Silent power moves is what I'm giving. They love to hate the world they can't live in. Always present for the high roads. Go swim within the deep lows. Low. What told the future? Who knows? I don't do it for the likes, I do it for the love. Do it for the ones who really need a hug, cause they had it tough, never had enough. Feared, loved, and respected. Using words as a weapon. Chest and she. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. Sit up straight when she enters the room. Be enthused, but don't look too amused. This is her queendom, please respect her rule. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. Sit up straight when she enters the room. Be enthused, but don't look too amused. This is her queendom, please respect her rule. Smile in my face, Woody in my place, but act gully on cyberspace. Let's pump brakes, let's be frank. Running after him when you're the chase. You are the catch and he's the net. How quickly do we all forget to honor these small policies, my darling? You are the empress queen. Man, respect or he'll neglect. You are the wind beneath his wings. You are the season, you are the reason why this world can breathe. Giving sons eyes to see and daughters dreams to believe. Anything less than the best for you is high treason, queen. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. Sit up straight when she enters the room. Be enthused, but don't look too amused. This is her queendom, please respect her rule. Hurry up quick, El Jefe's coming soon. Sit up straight when she enters the room. Be enthused, but don't look too amused. This is a queendom.
Welcome to the queendom, everybody. That was another blind song selection. If you liked it, you're welcome. If you didn't like it, I apologize. I had no choice. I saw Boss Babe song, royalty free, download, and that's what we get. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm here. I am in a flower vagina. And behind me is our girl, Gwenny. Hey! GP. And did you know that Goop stands for Gwyneth Paltrow? Accurate. That is actually what it is. It's Gwyneth Paltrow, and she heard somewhere through the grapevine that if you have 2 O's in your name, you'll have a successful company. Because Google and Facebook, which Facebook no longer exists because it's now Meta, so I guess that rule no longer applies, but too late. Goop is already a multi-million-dollar company, so you locked in, girl, you locked in. Oh, well, what you gonna do about it? This is what she's gonna do about it. She's gonna say this.
Clear.
Clear. Thank you. I already saw Alaska Blatundra is on it with the memberships already. Thank you so much for that, Alaska Blatundra. You are the queen. That song is dedicated to you, actually. Forever and for always. Welcome. And also, thank you. It's going to come through in a second. Thank you to Beth Peters. Early shout out to Beth Peters.
The Mango Frequency.
They are the Mango Frequency. Living it out in real time in this dimension. Thank you. Okay, everybody, buckle up. Now, we're going to talk about Goop. This has been something that has been on the radar for quite a long time. If you're familiar with Netflix, the Goop Lab was on probably, 2 years ago? And it really made Goop even more popular than it already is. The biggest thing about Goop that I think a lot of people, if you've never heard of this company, have probably heard of is this candle smells like my vagina. I think it's a gimmick, honestly. I think the whole thing, at least with that product, that's like the number one talked about product that's on their website. It's like a spoof. It's a goof. I don't know. I think it's $75. It's stupid. If you buy it, shame on you, type thing. But I think Goop goes a lot deeper, a lot goopier than that. And I think the biggest thing for me personally is that they support and platform other grifters, including, guess who? The medical medium, my arch nemesis in life. And he has been featured many times on Goop and is like a Goop contributor. So the medical medium, Anthony William, who is to me, a complete scam artist who claims to hear voices of spirit in his ear that tell him how to fix cars. Okay.
Since then, we've also healed a car.
They also healed a car, thanks to Anthony William, and tells people to drink celery juice to cure all their illnesses. And that doctors call him up every minute to ask how to heal people. And he just gives them answers the phone and heals them by celery juice. I don't know. Whatever. So Gwyneth Paltrow, the actress, you've seen her in many, many things, including for 1 second in the Gold Member, Austin Powers. That's probably her least well-known role. She was in another movie with Mike Myers about airplanes, and it didn't do very well, but she was like a flight attendant, and Mike Myers was like the flight attendant leader, and it's actually a pretty good movie, but I think it came out fairly soon after 9/11, so I think it did not do well, but that's also what I remember her from. And she's in the Romeo and Juliet. She's in Romeo and Juliet with wait, no, that's not her, that's Claire Danes. I don't know, she's in a bunch of stuff. She's very famous, and she's a Nepo baby. You know what a Nepo baby is? A Nepo baby means that your parents are most likely in the entertainment industry. And that's how you got your in. How'd you make it into Hollywood? Oh, my parents are literally Steven Spielberg and I'm trying to think of another famous person. Charlize Theron. That's my parents. I just happen to be in town and I love acting. It's my passion. So Gwyneth Paltrow is a Nepo baby. Her parents also, look at this. Look at this. It's so cool. This is even more hip than I've ever been. This is her mom, Blythe Danner, who you may know from Meet the Fockers. This is her page. So that's her mom. And then her dad is Bruce Paltrow. He's passed away. He passed away in 2002. And he was a director and a producer. So if you didn't know, now you know. That's how she got her first start. Shallow Hal. Oh God, yeah, Shallow Hal. What a wonderful movie that was. Shakespeare in Love. That's the one. I'm looking at everyone else. Thank you. Shallow Hal, yeah. Shakespeare in Love. Wasn't there one with Claire Danes? That's Romeo and Juliet. That's why I'm getting them confused. So thank you. I as much as I am a movie buff, I have not seen many movies, especially the mainstream ones. I've watched a lot of movies, like indie movies that have never seen the light of day, but were part of the Blockbuster You Can Rent Unlimited Rentals program back in 2005. So, Camp, everyone's seen Camp? It's like a underground indie flick from 2004, maybe? I've seen that, but I haven't seen Shakespeare in Love. So, shame on me. Okay, so that's who her parents are. There she is. And she got her start. Her first big movie, her big role was Wendy in Hook, and that was directed by family friend, Steven Spielberg, as I mentioned. So there you go. And her dad died of cancer, and that actually is part of how Goop begun, how Goop be gooped, because she was helping her dad, not recover, but I guess deal with his illness. And she said, for the first time ever, I put two and two together, that nutrition and diet and wellness and health all go hand in hand. And then she started Goop 6 years later. But she said that's when she became a wellness nut, as she may say. Am I the only person who's seen Camp? There's actually a famous person in Camp. God, what's her name? The one that she's kind of Everyone thinks she's snooty. What's her name? Everyone knows. Pitch Perfect woman. This is how, if I had to talk about like Hollywood stuff more often, this is how every stream would go. You know, the one lady, it'd be like a Rachel Hawes podcast. You know that one person who's in that movie? I don't know. Anyways, just move on. Okay. So her dad died. She got inspired to get into wellness. Now, ironically, or in like a weird coincidence, her mom now has the same exact type of cancer. Now, I watched a news article about it, and they didn't name the type of cancer from what I remember, but she has the same exact type that her husband did and that Gwyneth Paltrow's dad had. So I guess she's sort of dealing with that to this day, the same issues. Now, that's the basic background. We're going to talk about specifically one podcast I have not listened to. I have seen clips. We're going to show the highlights because that's what's gone viral as of late. But it talks about Gwyneth Paltrow's wellness routine. Now, a lot of people are outraged by it because, you know, she's not eating very much and she's shoving stuff up her anus in the name of wellness. So people are like, you know, upset. I tend to think that's whatever she wants to do with her life. Like, who cares? I, again, think the big problem in my life and for my perspective is platforming people who are harming people and targeting people who are, you know, not of wealth and affluence. Goop seems to be a type of place where you go to if you have dispensable income to blow. Now, they're going to make outrageous claims. They're going to say, oh, this helps you to do this and your wellness and your health and da 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 da. But everything's like $1 million. So let's just look at the website real quick, just to give you an idea of what it is. It's a mixture of things. It's mostly a website to buy stuff. Excuse my French. To buy stuff. But there's also, you know, like a blog component and like we're going to help you understand an education component. But here it is. It's a health and wellness website, wellness and lifestyle website. I'm always confused when someone's like, I'm a lifestyle influencer. Like, what does that mean? You live your life. You live your life, and that is content. That's, I think, the most influencers that I interact with on my Instagram. People who are just living, and they're like, this is a career. Okay, so you got what's new, made by Goop, beauty, fashion, wellness, food and home, read, sale. That's where I'm going to be. And they got Goop Glow eye cream. Okay, so just for example, this top, you know, it's a one-of-a-kind top. You cannot get this at Target or Walmart. It's $420. Blaze up. I'm just kidding. But yeah, okay. So this is the type of dumbassery you will find on this website. Now, if you want to spend $420 on their shirt, they don't have larges because they don't believe in that. Just kidding. They're out. Go for it. You know, if you got the money, go for it. There's not a shirt. There's not like a label on here that says like, this is going to cure your diseases. So I'm all for it. You know, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. I think fashion at large is dumb. So I'm not the person to ask, like, do you think this is worth it? Because my answer is always going to be, no, it's not. But these pajamas, maybe. I'm just kidding. $209. And you can pay it in installments in case you really want to, you know, pretend that you're not making a financial mistake here. But this is like the harmless stuff. You can buy bags, you can buy shirts. Okay, but we really want to look at the wellness stuff. That's the stuff where we're like, these are where the claims are that I'm not sure are accurate. So they have different brands. They have her wellness stuff, the detox. That's something that, you know, she talks about a lot in the podcast we're going to listen to is needing to detox. And it's like, I always think, especially with these like gurus, they're around all these other gurus, right? They have tons of money. They have ability to go on vacation, to take breaks away, to not be destitute if they take a European adventure. Yet they have so many needs to have to detox. They have so many ailments they got to work on and, processes they got to put in place all the time after years and years and years of having all of this at their disposal. It's like, isn't it supposed to work at a certain point? Aren't you supposed to be healed at a certain point? Like, it's like, I'm going through a healing journey. Okay, you've been on this journey for 47 years. And when is the healing going to actually be? Like, if you put a Band-Aid on a cut, usually the cut heals at a certain point. There may be a scar, but you don't have to keep putting the Band-Aid on it every day. And I really feel like some of these wellness trends and wellness protocols are just pointless. First of all, they're not working. But I find it shocking that these gurus continue to say that they do them all the time. It's like, isn't that proving that they don't work? Because you've been talking about this for years. Anyways, let's just see. So they got a sex toys, tools and devices, vitamins and supplements, aromatherapy, workout. Okay, then they have Goop wellness brand, We Vibe, higher dose, Therabody, whatever. Let's go to Gwyneth's wellness just to see. This is just a little intro before we get to the fun stuff. Okay, you can get a vibrator for $98. You can get a G-Tox 7-day reset kit. Okay, here's where I start to go, no thanks. All of this is probably garbage. So it's $195 for 7 days. It says removing potential dietary triggers and processed foods from your diet can be a lot of work. The G-Tox 7-day reset kit gives you the tools to do a week-long elimination program with ease. Our plan provides a filling superfood cereal blend, a plant-based protein powder, and a recipe guide to take the guesswork out of the process. An easy-to-follow schedule helps you experiment with new eating patterns and an intermittent fasting protocol. And you'll get support from daily super powders formulated to help promote the body's natural detoxification system and promote digestive health. Okay, so you get a brush. She's very into Ayurveda. There's a cereal. Ooh, that looks delicious. Look at that cereal. Can you, here, I'm in the pile. I'm a piece of dust. There's the cereal you could consume for $195. Yummy. But don't have milk with it because you got to be dairy free, of course. No dairy allowed, girlies and boys. Here's something for almost $600, $599. This is an infrared PEMF Go mat. Okay, that definitely looks like it's worth $500. It's from the bright minds who made the infrared sauna blanket and infrared mat. This portable mat is designed with far infrared heat, pulsed electromagnetic fields, and a thick layer of amethyst and tourmaline crystals. It's only about 5 pounds and can tuck inside a tote bag. Lay it flat on the ground and hang out on top of it. Set it up on your desk chair while you work or take it with you. Why? Why would I do any of this? I do like warmth, but for $500, I can just microwave a towel, which is what I've done in the past. Here's something good. This is what I want. Knock me out. Just knock me out. Just hire. This is a service where someone comes and punches you in the face for $30. Sleep support soft chews. It's only $30. That's amazing. And it's got melatonin, tryptophan, and vitamin B6, and you get one a day, I'm assuming. So $1 a day keeps the sleep paralysis monster away. So that's the type of stuff. You get wrist bangles and supplements, and there's a lot of stuff like that. What else? Yeah, a lot of supplements, a lot of like packs and stuff where you can get like metabolism powder, very MLM style, but prices are high. There's no MLM model, so I can't even, essential oils for $32. Here's one. High school jeans. So you're supposed to take this to provide intense support for normal glucose and energy metabolism, as well as cellular health. So it's a couple of vitamins in a pack for $90. And, they're cool. They're really cool. They like to, say effing. Why am I so effing tired? Like, we're like relatable brand, but they don't want to be relatable. Actually, I was reading earlier this New York Times Magazine, not expose, but kind of the behind the marketing of Goop and sort of Gwyneth's marketing mind, which I do think she has. She said that she always wants the brand to be aspirational. So she has no interest to mass market products, to like the comparison they make in the article is like to Martha Stewart, where Martha Stewart is an aspirational brand. However, you can buy a Martha Stewart pot or a flower vase at Walmart. You're able to be a part of her brand. The point of Goop is so that people who are rich can access it. And if you're not, then it'll feel like, oh, it's out of reach. It's just right there. I want to save up money to buy my sleep punch me in the face powder. So we'll look at this later. But I think the most important thing is that we listen to the newest and latest news. And here's a little preview. This is from, and if you're following the lore of this channel and you want a full circle, Dear Media is the people who own or who have the podcast Skinny Confidential, which again, to bring her up for the second time already in this live stream, is where Rachel Hollis went on to defend her toilet gate about a year after it happened and basically accuse the public of piling on her and, being upset that she got divorced and that she made a mistake, but that's not really her fault. And she, was just trying to help people with depression. Did a whole video about it. If you want to look later, it's on my channel. But that's the same. So those people who are on that podcast, they own the podcast like umbrella, and this podcast is a part of Dear Media, which is their company. So a little bit of everybody knows everybody in this space. So the guy that she talked to allegedly is her doctor. Now, okay, talk about an unethical thing to have your patient be on your podcast. And I guess, if it's your choice and you want to go on your doctor's podcast, okay. It's just a little weird. And he's a functional medicine doctor, which is a little bit different than a traditional doctor. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs. I would like to learn more about that, the difference, because holistic doctor, chiropractor, MD, there's all these different labels. They all are allowed to use doctor, but they all mean very different things. And I wish I knew a little bit more about the logistics of what school are you going to be a functional doctor? Like, can you prescribe things? I don't know the answer to that. All I know is they look at the root cause. Okay, wonderful. Love that. But are you going to medical school, or are you taking an oath, or what? Like, what are the rules here? And I need to know. Anyway, so here's the preview. Again, this is from Dear Media Studio, and it's from the Dr. Will Cole. Let's go to his thing real quick before we even start this. Dr. Will Cole. So he's top 50 in functional medicine, and he's also got a Zoolander stare in his profile photo. He is the first telehealth clinic in Globe, or if you're a flat earther, a circle. The Art of Being Well, new book, Gut Feelings, all links, consults, book and headphones. Okay. This looks like the Medical Medium book. I almost thought it was for a second. I was going to go, what's your deal? Here's a little preview of him.
Paired obese individuals who worked with a therapist versus obese individuals who worked with a traditional dietitian. Long-term success was greater with the people who worked with a therapist in terms of weight loss. What's your opinion on that? Why do you think that is?
It's that mind-body connection, right? Can be a lot of dysregulation of the immune system in the form of chronic inflammation, a lot of
Okay, so that's a preview for him, who he is. I don't know. I don't have much to say about him. Don't know. Never saw him before. I liked him only because of this. So here is Gwenny. It says, Gwyneth Paltrow loves an IV, which is so on brand for both of us. Okay, here we go.
Which is so on brand for both of us. We pod and IV at the same time.
I'm really embarrassing myself right here.
People want to ask about IVs.
I love an IV. I'm an early IV adopter. Glutathione, I love to have in an IV. Kind of a random, more fringy one. Phosphatidylcholine, that's my favorite IV when I can find them. They're quite hard to find.
Yeah.
And those make me feel so good. But this today, just because I was flying, I have just a bag of good old-fashioned vitamins.
As we're recording this right now, you have a little IV, so which is so on.
So she's currently hooked up to an IV during this interview. So she can't take a day off. Her veins must be pumping at all times with wellness products. And one of the comments says, as a doctor, I really don't understand why you have given this a platform. It's very damaging and very unhealthy. The woman is clearly unwell. Please stop giving people like this a platform. Wildly irresponsible to promote this. The section on her wellness routine is disturbing. That's not wellness. That's a socially acceptable disordered eating. I can't believe that her routine is being shared as wellness. This is not wellness. This is disordered eating. The best way to get vitamins is through eating food, not an IV. As a non-diet intuitive eating health coach, this is appalling to see. This is very disappointing. So like, no one seems happy. Usually the top comments are like happy ones. Everyone seems on board that this is bizarre. But that was just her talking about the IV, which, you know, I just listened today because of Boss Lee, not friend of the show, hater of the show, Boss Lee, who is the MLM leader in Prove It, who we've talked about, who had the retreat in Colombia. That was, you know, a little shady to say the least, she's just been diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. She just posted a live the other day or yesterday, and she mentioned there that she's starting to use like IVs that are banned. Like she kind of talked about it like, oh, it's a banned IV because, you know, doctors are hiding basically the incentive. My understanding of what she was saying was like, you know, doctors don't want us to have this, you know, cure kind of thing. And so she was going to use this Myers IV cocktail because one of the CEOs she works with got it to her. And it was DC who was covering this, and I was watching it this morning. So shout out to DC. She looked it up and it said like there was an FTC, you know, infraction on the company for claiming that these IVs can cure cancer, can cure fibromyalgia, can cure all these degenerative diseases. So that's why they're not available, because they got, you know, in trouble for basically scamming and promising things they can't. So IVs are sort of a controversial-ish wellness thing. I've never used one. I'm scared of needles, so I don't know. It would take a lot for me to try that, but yeah, I don't know if that's what people are upset about too, that she's got an IV, or if it's just her her daily routine that people are more upset about, that she doesn't eat very much. But we'll find out. So let's roll it. Okay, here is the actual podcast. I couldn't find like the actual video, and I found the same thing to be true for the other Dear Media podcast. So they seem to be smart where they record it for promo, but they don't actually release the full video, at least not right away, because I couldn't find it. So if you can find it, let me know and send me a link. But for now, we'll have to just listen, and you'll have to like, you know, watch me dance in the corner of this live stream. So let's get to it. And here we go. It's about an hour long. So if it drones on, we can move on and then look at some other stuff about her and Goop. But I think it's important that we listen to the full thing, because a lot of people are talking about the clips, like one of the clips that we just saw. There's been a few of them online, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's give this guy the benefit of the doubt. And then we can, once we listen to the whole thing, go, okay, no, I'm fair to not like this. All right, here we go.
Leading functional medicine doctor, I get to
How's the volume? I'm feeling well already.
What's up, and welcome to the art of being well. I am a leading functional medicine doctor. I get to consult people around the world via webcam, and I'm a New York Times bestselling author. I wrote Intuitive Fasting, The Inflammation Spectrum, Ketotarian. If you want to learn more about my clinical work, the telehealth center, the books, there's lots of free resources there for you as well. You can check it all out at drwillcole.com. That's DRWILLCOLE.com.
Oh, yeah. Great point. I meant to bring this up earlier, so thank you to Laura. Laura says, what about the trial? Okay, yeah. So basically, there's speculation that this was a distraction. Her coming out and kind of giving this wacky routine that she's gonna talk about on this podcast to get her name in the headlines in sort of a kooky way and a, you know, not so harmful way, but I think it kind of backfired. But right now, she's going through a trial, very bizarre trial, about a ski accident or a ski infraction that happened on the slopes. And she says that, someone plowed into her, but the guy who she claims plowed into her claims she plowed into him and just took off, and he had like brain damage essentially from the interaction. So it happened in 2016. It's been live streaming on YouTube today. I watched a couple minutes of it, and she's actually in court talking about it, and she's going to most likely take the stand in her defense. Now, it's not criminal. It's just, it's like similar to Brittany Dawn, where it's just for money. And he's suing for $300,000. The guy tried to sue for more, but then the judge, when he put the case up, said, no, the cap is $300,000. And Gwyneth, I guess, can I call her Gwen? Is that a shorthand? I don't know. I think so, right? GP, she is countersuing for $1 and for lawyer fees because she says, no, that's not what happened. So there she is. She looks like Jeffrey Dahmer's sister or something with those glasses. No offense. Just anytime someone's in a courtroom with those glasses, I'm like, Jeffrey? Is that you? Jeffrey Paltrow? Okay. All right. So she's on trial in Utah. It's being referred to as a hit and run, even though it was on skis and it was on the slopes. So thanks to USA Today, she's going to talk about what she was wearing in the courtroom. A beige knit sweater, tweed harem pants, and aviator-style reading glasses shielded her face from reporters and photographers with a blue GP initialed notebook when she entered the Park City courtroom. So I guess she was in Park City on the slopes. It's unclear if the actress will testify during the trial, and they reached out to her for comment. Okay, so in 2019, the celebrity wellness influencer star and Shakespeare in Love star, there you go, was sued by Terry Sanderson, who claimed she seriously injured him during a crash on the beginner slopes at Deer Valley Resort in Park City on February 26, 2016. So Paltrow's lawyer refuted Sanderson's account of the ski collision on Tuesday during the trial's opening day. In opening arguments, both sides presented their clients as conservative skiers who were stunned when a skier above them crashed into them. This is such a rich person lawsuit. I'm sorry to say. Welcome, Fiona. Okay, wait. Oh, sorry. You might have already joined. Let me check. I didn't open the chat yet. Sorry. I can see your chats. I just can't see the ones if you're a member or if you're just saying hello. Fiona, thank you. If GP hit me on the slopes, I'd probably sue too. Yeah. Same. Good point. For that I say.
The knife stabbing pain in my eyes went away.
The knife stabbing pain in my legs from you crashing into me have not gone away, and I want money. Thank you. Okay, so Paltrow's team told jurors that Sanderson was the one who crashed into her, a collision in which she sustained what they called a full-body blow. Owens noted that members of Paltrow's group checked on Sanderson, who assured them he was fine. In interaction, Sanderson doesn't deny, but said in court filings that he can't remember. Suspicious. It's just, I like how it's like members of her team or her group. It's like, so she crashed into him and just like, my team, go handle this. I need to go back on the bunny slope. Owens cautioned jurors not to let sympathy for Sanderson's medical ailments, a brain injury, 4 broken ribs, oh wow, and other serious injuries skew their judgments. He questioned the 76-year-old's credibility, noting his age and documented pre-collision brain injuries. Okay. He said that the Utah man had confirmed he was fine after the crash. Owens also said that Sanderson posted a very happy, smiling picture of himself online riding a toboggan post-crash. Yeah, that's going to be a problem probably for the jury. Okay, so what's Gwyneth accused of in this lawsuit? Sanderson, who is a retired optometrist, said Paltrow was skiing out of control and knocked him out, leaving him with a concussion and 4 broken ribs. Sanderson referred to it as a hit and run and sought $3.1 million in damages in his initial lawsuit. After the multi-million-dollar suit was dropped, Sanderson amended the complaint and is now seeking $300,000, claiming that the accident was a result of negligence and left him with physical injuries and emotional distress. He also claimed the Goop founder left him injured on the mountain and didn't send help. Sanderson alleged a Deer Valley ski instructor filed a false incident report saying Paltrow didn't cause the crash. Sanderson told reporters in Salt Lake City when he filed the lawsuit that he waited to file the lawsuit for nearly 3 years because he had problems with attorneys and could not function properly because of the concussion. I don't know. Sounds a little, maybe I'm on her side a little bit here. Not on her side, but I mean, he said, she said, you know, he waits a long time. I'm not super convinced on either side. So, but it doesn't make her look good if she is found guilty, or if not guilty, if she is found liable for this civil lawsuit. And you know, if you're not paying close attention to the story, which who would, really, you know, it's not that juicy. You might think like, oh, I hate this Gwyneth. This GP is a BP, a biot. I don't know. So maybe her doing this, you know, podcast, people were saying, was because she wanted to get in the good graces, get in like, I'm just a silly, quirky wellness guru, boss babe. I like to do IVs and put stuff up my rear end for my wellness. Why not? That's what you should talk about. Don't talk about this skiing thing in court. Forget that. So that may be possible. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. It's you know, this is a civil case that is like live streaming, obviously live on YouTube. No other, if this wasn't a celebrity involved, no one would care at all. So it's interesting that people care at all. JLB Nerdy, thank you so much. JLB Nerdy says, just going to use my $3 Target feet mask and not feel bad about not spending Goop style money on it. Amen, sister. Amen. Yes, I agree. Wellness doesn't need to meet. Oh my God. Can I talk today? Like, what is wrong with me? I feel like I'm having some sort of problem. Excusez-moi. Wellness doesn't have to mean that you are well off to participate. Thank you.
I happen to be an empath myself.
I am an empath, and I feel bad for myself that I can't speak today. Thank you, JLB Nerdy. I approve of that. And I think Target is like upper echelon of society in my mind. It's not quite, you know, Sephora, but it's right there. And compared to Walmart, I like Target, and I feel like it's an experience that I am, you know, shilling out a couple extra cents per trip to make. So you can feel good about that. And I also want to say,
I don't really care what the FDA says.
Neither does Gwyneth Paltrow. Thank you, JLB. Okay, back to the podcast. Now we're all caught up. Now we've heard it all. We are in the Goop sphere. Okay, back to it. Hit it, Dr. Will Cole.
And the day is drawing near very soon. It may be out already by the time you listen to this. My 4th book, Gut Feelings, is out. I'm so excited about it. The subtitle is Healing the Shame-Fueled Relationship Between What You Eat and How You Feel. Really talking about things that I see with my telehealth patients, this bidirectional relationship between mental health and physical health, and how underlying physical factors like underlying gut problems and chronic inflammation and different chronic infections like mold toxicity and chronic Lyme disease, nutrient deficiencies, stuff like that you can measure on labs, basically. I
also want to point out this note right here. Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode. I don't find this to be enough, like this blanket statement here. It's something, but I feel like there should be a more explicit note within the podcast. If there is, like, my favorite brand of shampoo is Pantene, and I love Pantene. It is the best. I'm also a sponsor by them. I think that still needs to be included. That just caught my interest. Sorry.
Those things impact our thoughts and emotions, impact things like anxiety and depression and brain fog and fatigue. And then conversely, how mental, emotional, spiritual things like chronic stress and unresolved trauma, and I even talk about intergenerational trauma and something called...
Oh yeah, that was another thing in the Boss Lee interview or live stream. I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't finish it, but she just started talking about like, well, you know, I have cancer probably because of my unresolved childhood trauma. It's like, Okay, we're going there. We're going to go there. Whenever anyone says that, and it's like they say it so confidently, like the reason why you have cancer, the reason why you have a disease is because of unresolved trauma. Okay, so what about babies who are born with diseases? What fucking trauma did they have that, they like emotional trauma did they cause in their life or go through? Like being in the womb, like, and then they'll say, well, the mother's trauma transferred genetic. It's like, shut up, just like, stay in your lane, go sniff some sage powder and put on a, vagina candle and like, shut up. Stop talking about people's cancer. I hate it. Anyways, sorry.
Shameflammation, I talk about in the book, how these mental, emotional, spiritual facets impact our physical health. So it's really a conversation about autoimmunity, mental health issues, and how we have to deal with both the gut and the feelings, the physiological and the psychological. Anyways, it is.
And again, he's a functional doctor, so he's not a psychiatrist or a therapist or a mental health professional. So I don't know, stay in your lane too, Dr. Cole.
Coming out right now. And whenever you order the book right now, if you head on over to drwillcole.com
Okay,
and Dr. Nicole LePera, the holistic psychologist on Instagram.
Oh, Jesus, not her too. Dr. Nicole LePera, we've talked about her on Cringefluencers before, but she's the holistic psychologist. Now, she is a psychologist. However, her whole brand now is trauma is all like something you can overcome by yourself. Just join my online course and you can get through it. And it's a disappointment because some of her videos are helpful in explaining different dynamics that go on in like parents and kids. And I think they could be helpful. And she actually uses like, I think her wife or friend or somebody acts out the things so they're not using real kids to, show these scenarios. And I think they could be helpful, but yet her solution is like, don't go to therapy, just massage your vagus nerve and join my online course to heal yourself. I'm like, okay. And apparently she had some ties to like some sort of out there groups. We can go into that at a different time, but yeah, that's not someone I'm like, oh wow, what a great partnership you have. So I'm already skeptical now, again, even more so.
She actually wrote the foreword of Gut Feelings, and Dr. Daniel Amen, Dr. Caroline Leaf, just brilliant psychiatrists.
Okay, this guy has no credibility. Dr. Amen, oh my God. The brain scammer. Okay, all right, this guy sucks.
Psychologists, mental health neuroscientists, all part of an online Gut Feelings mastermind, only for people that pre-order the book, and you get lots of other free healthy stuff too. So,
grifters really stick together. They really do. That's one thing I'll give grifters. They stick in their circles.
Head on over there to order Gut Feelings. And we're also giving away free signed books.
Oh my God, get to it, bro.
And we'll send it out. And again, every single month, we'll be going through the messages. Is an Oscar winner, an author of many New York Times bestselling books. She is the founder of Goop, a lifestyle brand that covers food, wellness, fashion, fitness, travel. Paltrow is a mother, a businesswoman, an actress, and she's become one of my dearest friends. And the timing of this conversation is so...
You probably shouldn't be dearest friends with your doctor.
Special to me because...
For just reasons that seem obvious, like objectivity reasons. I don't know.
Gut Feelings, my book, it's under Goop Press. Goop is not just an amazing lifestyle brand. They also are in the literary space. They're putting out cutting edge conversations in book form to really elevate the literary space. And I'm honored to be.
Yeah, this is very similar to Hay House. Louise Hay, we've discussed her on the show before on this channel. She's the one who's like the mother of a lot of these people who came up with the concept, I guess, of dis-ease, DIS-ease, where everything that happens to you physically is because of an emotional trauma or some sort of hatred you have of yourself. She's famous for... at first, sort of embracing the AIDS community, unlike people with AIDS back in the 80s, unlike other doctors and practitioners. However, it was because she said, well, it's because you got AIDS because the gay community is so focused on looks that, you got this disease to I don't know, deal with the shame that you have of not being as good as the rest of the community. It's effed. It's so fucked. Anyway, she wrote a book called You Can Heal Your Life. She's dead and gone now, but she started a publishing house that is the publishing house of Medical Medium, Dr. Joe Dispenza. They have a radio program. They do a lot of publishing still to this day that, in my opinion, is problematic. It's not probably as, well, no, that's probably the craziest one. And then Goop is probably under that, a little bit more sane, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm not surprised that they have a publishing arm. This is interesting, though. I didn't know that.
Part of Goop Press. So to celebrate the release of Gut Feelings, here's my special conversation with my friend. This is Gwyneth Paltrow's Art of Being Well. Gwyneth freaking Paltrow. I'm so excited about this. You're on the pod. Thanks for coming on.
Gwyneth freaking Paltrow. Welcome.
I'm starstruck to be on the pod. I listen to it every week. I am. I love this pod.
Oh, thank you.
This is an amazing podcast.
I have to say, it makes my week whenever you text me and say, hey, when you said this on the podcast and it's some detailed, granular thing that I said in passing, I know you're listening.
Oh, I'm listening. It's like the only podcast. Well, that's not true. There's another podcast called the All In Podcast. And these are the only two podcasts I listen to. The Art of Being Well and All In. They could not be more different.
What's All In about?
Oh, All In is about these, it's these four guys, these investors who have really interesting different backgrounds. I think that they're all currently investing. But one worked at Google and one, they're kind of like, some of them are kind of Elon squad. And they're brilliant. They just have like incredible mental agility, articulation. Like sometimes I have to, it's like I think I love both of them. I have to rewind sometimes to listen and see, okay, did I really understand that? And I have that with yours too.
I love it. And you can just throw me a text and ask me to clarify.
I know. I'm very lucky. I'm telling your pod squad, I know how I'm a lucky bastard that I get to text Will Cole.
Oh my gosh. So, and you have an amazing podcast. I love it. I've loved it for years.
Thank you.
Like, what do you?
There's not one, name one celebrity who does not have a podcast these days. I'll wait.
See the future of the podcast. Like, let's ask this. Who's a dream guest that you haven't had on the show?
Kia from Kia.
Who would I love to have right now? I mean, there are a lot of CEOs that I don't know that I would love to talk to. I'm very kind of ensconced in the world of business and trying to grow Goop. And there's so much I don't know. And there's so many people who've done it so brilliantly. I think the person that inspires me most right now as a CEO for a whole number of reasons is Brian Chesky from Airbnb. He's so in integrity and he's really he's coming from such a good place of like trying to bring people together in the world and
shut up.
The way he's grown his business and how
he's trying to make money like everyone else in this world. Gwyneth, come on, get a grip. Okay, might be a mean thing, so I'm sorry. I apologize in advance if this crosses a line into mean territory, but I just want to show you something. There is a weird phenomena. I feel like I saw a TikTok the other day, which got me thinking about it, but it was someone who dated Zach Braff, the guy from, everyone knows, Scrubs. Okay, there you go. And Florence Pugh. Okay, this is off topic. We're going way down the rabbit hole, sorry. And there they are together, right? Here it is. Okay. Then the TikTok showed Florence Pugh's dad. And to me, oh God, I'm not paying for that. Doesn't that look like Zach Braff? People just like want to date their family members. People who look like their family members. No, they don't really, but like, come on, they really look like, that looks like Zach Braff, who was her boyfriend. Okay, so I had that on my mind today when I was researching this. And I'm like, I wonder what Gwyneth Paltrow's family looks like. And then I saw this. Okay, here is her ex-husband. Now she's got a new husband who's a writer and a producer who worked with Ryan Murphy a lot on Glee and American Horror Story. But here's her husband, ex-husband, and here's her brother. Twins, Basil, twins. Come on. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or rude or weird. I just feel like I thought this was the same person. I don't know. Let me know if that crossed the line. Anyways, back to the podcast. I'm already bored with it, so we had to go to what's sibling or dating.
Handled the COVID crisis. Like, I would love to have him on the pod.
I love that. My advice to Airbnb was to come up with a point system so you could, because I have my Marriott Bonvoy points.
That's right.
And I can't even use my credit card points towards an Airbnb in the same way.
You know what? Let's talk to Brian about
Let's get him on the podcast.
Okay.
If you just listen.
My Marriott Bonvoy points. Like, I have no problem, and I think this is something that I'm trying to find the line on. Like, I just don't relate to people who are super, super rich and have rich people problems. So I tend to think it's problematic. But in reality, is it problematic, or it's just not my style? And I feel like so far, that's how I feel about Gwyneth Paltrow. She's not my style. She's problematic because she platforms people who are detrimental to people's health. But I don't find her completely problematic yet. She seems like a actress, Hollywood type who is a businesswoman who wants to make a ton of money and is out of touch because she's been rich her whole life. That's my take so far.
Me. Let's talk about wellness. Let's go back in time. I know your mom was interested in natural things and wellness. So was it child?
Okay, I'm so sorry. If you don't care about my asides, I apologize today. I'm a little over the place. Okay, Emily, thank you. You want to know the biggest whole wellness, full circle event that I've been holding on to this for a while until I do a story or a video about her at some point. But Dancing with the Stars, Carrie Ann Arbor, that woman who does the judging on Dancing with the Stars, she's got a podcast that definitely is wellness adjacent. She's had medical medium on. She's got, psychics on and all this craziness. And I've been she hasn't done anything that I'm okay, I need to get her on. But okay, here's a connection to her. Here she is. She plays the twin that I was referencing. Twins, Basil, twins. She plays Fook You. And I didn't know that until if you're an Austin Powers fan, I'm a super fan of Austin Powers. That's her. Fook You. Or Fook Me. I don't know. And I obviously know this is super offensive now, but back in 2003 when this movie came out, this wasn't. But there she is. And now she's a wellness podcast host. So there you go. In case you ever wanted a little bit of wellness lore trivia, that is her right here. I don't know. Then she became a Dancing with the Stars judge. And now she's having medical medium come on her podcast and talk about healing yourself. Small world, man. Small world. Okay, here we go. Back to it. We're going to hear about her mom now.
That wellness was really started to becoming part of your life, or was it later on in life?
Well, it started young. My mother was very aware of, she's been a deep environmentalist for her whole life. And so when we were little, we were always going to the recycling center before that. She's responsible. Actually, she helped form curbside recycling in Santa Monica and in New York. She was very involved when we were little, and nuclear power was this big environmental threat. Now, I guess it is the better environmental option, but we used to protest, and I used to hold signs out of the car saying, "You're polluting." I used to yell at truck drivers when they were polluting. So she's sort of an act.
You'd yell at the recycling trucks that your mom made possible. "You're polluting." Just really confuse them. I thought you wanted us here. No.
Environmental activist household. And she had flats of wheatgrass growing on the counter and would have us drink that. And my dad was totally the opposite. It was Pepsi, Malamars, a honey baked ham, barbecued ribs, it's like that kind of thing. So they had very different philosophies and ideologies around wellness. And then in my 20s, I really kind of, in the first half of my 20s, I didn't think about it a lot until my father was diagnosed with cancer. And that really changed things for me. And I started realizing that there had to be a connection between what we were eating and what we were exposed to and how that was being expressed through disease. And that's when I started researching whatever I could. This is pre-internet, but, talking to people, trying to, buy books on nutrition, understand the links between environmental toxins, cancer, HPVs, all that kind of like understanding what.
I do really think that's interesting how celebrities or wellness, not even celebrities, wellness people will talk endlessly about chemicals, chemtrails, heavy metals, I don't know, environmental toxins, bad quality, everything, right? And do absolutely nothing about it other than sell you a supplement that is non-FDA approved and you just got to take their word for it that it's a better product. Other than that, they are not advocating. They are not like fighting. They're not holding up signs like she's, claiming to have done whatever. I roll my eyes. I don't really necessarily believe her, but we'll take her word for it. But yeah, they don't do anything on a larger scale. You think that you would care about like the water that you so claim needs to be alkaline. Like, why don't you lobby the government? Like, you have the power and money to actually possibly start some change if you truly believed in it. But instead, they all just push their own product. So to me, again, I feel like you're full of shit and you're just playing it up to people who, I don't know, just want to buy into that for some reason. But like, to me, if you really cared, you would be in DC like, we need alkaline water. We need, congas in every home. Like, they're not doing that. They're just like, oh, if you can afford $10,000 and you should save yourself. It's like, that sounds like a horrible way to think about the world.
What led to the creation of disease in our culture, and then why, and then past my father, like, why is this so pervasive? And why do we have so much, obesity, depression, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and all the things I was observing and just wondering what could be done about it. And what were the modalities out there? And also just the idea that we all have so much agency. We don't realize the agency that we have and that we have autonomy over our bodies, what we put into our bodies, the thoughts that we form, the words that we speak. And when we have a certain degree of...
Depends on what state you're in these days, ladies. When you're rich, there needs to be an asterisk. When you're rich, when you are not rich, no, that does not apply at all. Like, tell me how many thoughts I'm allowed to have when I'm, standing at a assembly line, putting together, I don't know, your fucking products. Like, I really have to be there and focus on the task at hand. I really cannot choose my own thoughts and my own activities for the day to help my well-being, I'm in your factory putting together Goop, gobbly-gloop. So shut up.
Mastery over ourselves, and we embrace that, we can really start to change our lives and feel really good. And even with small changes, if you're orienting around your body and sort of being friends with your body and yourself. Like, that's what I started to notice. Like, this, it had this compounding effect. Like, I really am starting to feel not only better in the moment, but I'm getting this lesson from somewhere that we all have this power within us to feel better and to have that kind of agency. So it became kind of like addictive.
I remember being a health nerd before I knew you, reading about you doing this thing called the macrobiotic diet. So now that you're my friend, like, how was that? Like, I want to know, because I know you now.
She's been on so many diets through the years. She's like paleo, she's been on intermittent fasting. Now she's talking about macro whatever diet. Okay, let's go.
Take me back to those macrobiotic days.
Yeah. So I started doing yoga when I was about 25 or 26. And I started this practice of Ashtanga yoga, 6-day-a-week practice with my teacher, Eddie Stern.
Okay, roll my eyes. If you're a yogi, Ashtanga is like either love it or you hate it. I did Ashtanga when I was doing my 200-hour class, and it's for a certain type of person. It's very regimented. You only get certain amount of moves, and you can't move on to the next move until you've perfected the move before. It's not like the typical yoga experience if you were just to go to like a class in any city in America. Ashtanga is sort of like a more regimented, and sometimes the perception, I will say, sometimes the perception of Ashtanga people they think they're better than other yoga people. So that's just, little insider from what I've heard in the yoga world. So it's funny that she does Ashtanga. You know who else does Ashtanga? Is Miley Cyrus. Just, I don't know. It seems to be a celebrity thing.
I love Eddie.
Eddie is still a very close friend of mine.
Sweetheart.
In fact, Eddie married Brad and I. He officiated our wedding.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Eddie has been a teacher and a mentor of mine since, for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I went to, this was all around the time where I was trying to understand nutrition and wellness. I went to England to do, I think, Shakespeare in Love. And I had a yoga teacher there, and she said, and I was really struggling with the food. Now in the UK, it's a great food scene, but in the 90s, it was pretty tough. And it was really hard to get like fresh, healthy food. And so she said, I'm macrobiotic and I make myself healthy food every day and I come teach.
Sounds like Autumn Calabrese, who went to St. Louis one time. She's like, there was not one healthy food in the entire city. I had to bring my own protein bars. Like, okay, where do you guys shop? They're not grocery stores. There wasn't stores in England in the 90s. Okay.
And then I'll drop lunch. She would put lunch in a thermos for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started eating macrobiotic, and I just kind of followed the tenets of it. And actually it's so funny because ultimately it wasn't the right thing for me. I felt it was so much brown rice. I always had a hard time with brown rice. It was hard for me to digest and made me feel really tired.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually made me gain a lot of weight. So I gained weight on the macrobiotic diet. But
how much weight? Was it a full pound or not? I need to know how much weight. I've never seen a photo of her being anything but how she is. I'd be curious to think how much a lot of weight is for her.
Given up was dairy, sugar, a lot of gluten, processed foods, a lot of alcohol. And coffee I gave up even for a really long time.
Yeah, she's also a drinker, which I find so confusing. How can you be so literally anal about your diet and about your supplements and about your wellness routine and drink alcohol? There are so many studies. Well, I don't know how so many studies. There's at least one big study where it proves that it is tied to many cancers, like no matter what. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't drink. I'm not like being judgmental about it. But if you're like, okay, I'll bring her up for the third time. Rachel Hollis did it on her podcast a while back, said, my boyfriend told me that gum is not good for you because it has xylitol in it, and xylitol can be bad for you. So I told the children, no more gum. Okay, right? She made a big deal about it. But she drinks tequila by like the freaking shot full. So it's like, are you really trying to say that you're better than everyone for cutting out this probably harmless item, but then drinking alcohol, which is proven? Like, tell me you don't really believe in the shit you're saying, like, more. You would, if you were truly invested in your wellness at the level that you claim to be, none one of these people would drink alcohol. I'm sorry, they wouldn't.
I would just have green tea in the morning. Like I was,
and the smoking, I see a lot of the smoking. That to me is also like, no way. Like, are you trying to overcompensate or what? Like, I don't know. It just seems like if you really, really, really cared this much, like you claim, and it wasn't just for salesmanship, then you would cut that shit too. Because you have the discipline, obviously. If you're not eating at all and you're drinking bone broth and, doing IVs every 5 seconds, like, you got some discipline there. And you have the money to be able to pay for a coach to stop doing those activities if you really wanted to. So,
You know me, like if someone tells me to do something, I like do it balls to the wall.
Yes, you do. You're a queen macrobiotic, no doubt.
So, but that was really my first kind of big extended experiment with eating food and tuning in, seeing how it made me feel. Mm-hmm. And then I remember, staying kind of pretty on the healthy path for a while. And then I remember when I got pregnant with my daughter, Apple, I mean, I could not have eaten rice to save my own life. Like all I wanted was grilled cheese sandwiches and yogurt. Like I went completely the other way.
Yeah. Did you know that seed oils are a huge problem? They've been linked to.
Oh my God. If I open my Instagram for one moment, seed oils are killing everybody. Like, what is the problem with seed oils all of a sudden? Like, what lobbying firm is trying to kill seed oils? Like canola oil. Like, I had never heard about that in my life. Now people are claiming it is the alcohol of our generation, the black tar heroin of our generation. Like, what happened? What did I miss? Everywhere. Every wellness influencer. Seed oils is the end of humanity, apparently, according to these people. It's crazy. I guess this is an ad, I'm assuming.
Spread health and environmental issues, yet they're in everything we eat. Just turn around the boxes that we are consuming in a day, acids or PUFAs, and heat degrees Fahrenheit integrate into your day. Cola checkout to and seasonal recipes, and HelloFresh makes it out. HelloFresh has
HelloFresh, sponsor me. I love you, HelloFresh. You don't have to be a crazy influencer wellness wacko to like your product. Give me a code. Let me help. Give me some money.
Weekly. What I also love about HelloFresh is that they make it easy like meals.
Get to it.
.com and even what's served you then isn't going to serve. Call 60 for 60% off plus free shipping. So, I mean, your health routine, your wellness has evolved the more you learn and experiment, and even what served you then isn't going to serve you now necessarily either. And so people, I'm sure, want to know, like, what's your wellness routine look like now? A day in the life.
Here we go.
Well, as you may or may not know, I am a full disciple of Dr. Will Cole. So that means I follow, what do you call it? I'm paleo.
Paleo. Yeah, paleo-ish, but you're pretty paleo.
I'm pretty paleo.
I try to put more ish in your life and just say, yeah, you could do it, but you.
We should talk about it someday, but the paleo diet, like the guy who created it, is a little bit wacky as well, in a bad way. I only know that because on Maintenance Phase, the podcast, they talked about it, and he like kind of went off the deep end with COVID stuff. So maybe we can visit that at some point.
But you know what works for your body. I think you know what foods love you back.
I do. So in keeping with my Will Cole prescribed regimen, I eat dinner early. In the evening, I try to eat at 6 or 6:30. So I'm really done eating by 7. And then I do a nice intermittent fast until I usually eat something about 12. In the morning, I'll have some things that won't spike my blood sugar, right? So I have coffee.
Okay, so she's saying the night before I eat dinner at 6 p.m., then I don't eat again till 12. But when I wake up in the morning, I have coffee. Okay, got it. Great routine so far.
I'll have a celery juice with lemon water, but I just really use the morning. And for me, it's important because
okay, not to, again, cut it off, but according to Anthony William, the medical medium, if you put lemon juice in your celery water, it will not cure your cancer. You have to have it just plain. That's what he said. No ice cubes, nothing, just the celery juice. Okay, I remember that specifically because it was so stupid. So she's not listening clearly to her spirits in her ears.
As you know, I have trouble with methylation. So my body is not a natural detoxer. I'm not good at it. A lot of people, it's absolutely a part of their biology and process. I'm not one of those people. So I get it. Your liver doesn't work.
If your liver is not functioning, then I think you would be not alive. I think that's one of those things, like, I'm an empath. I'm just the type that just can't detox. Like, I don't think that's true. I think you're just like everybody else.
Impacted by things more heavily. And then I exercise in the morning. I take my binders in the morning. I take binders for, again, like poor methylation. I'm still dealing probably with some mold, even though it's probably pretty good by now, I would think.
It's in the past.
She's dealing with mold? I don't know what she's saying. Methylation? I don't know what that is. She I think she's so in a world that doesn't really exist that it's like there's terms that don't even mean anything anymore. She's like, I think I'm in the past of mold. Okay, so she had mold in her body at one point. Don't you live in like the best, most high class houses and places in the world? How do you have mold in your system? It's bullshit. Again.
I think it's in the past, and I do try to do 1 hour of movement. So I'll either take a walk or I'll do Pilates or I'll do my Tracy Anderson. And then I get in the sauna. I dry brush and I get in the sauna. So I do my infrared sauna for 30 minutes. Not every day. Some days I can't. I don't have time. Or sometimes I'll do the higher dose infrared blanket if I'm not home. But for me, it's really important for me to support my detox because I have the fucked up
MTHFR.
Thank you, MTHFR.
MTHFR. I don't believe it. I don't believe that whatsoever. Like, that's just something that you say. Like, my thyroid, like some people really do have a thyroid condition, but a lot of people just say, oh, my thyroid. They just say it because it's like something that they heard in a magazine one time and they're like, oh, it just doesn't work the same way as everyone else. Like, I don't know. Some people that's true, but I think people just say stuff sometimes. They've just decided on their own, like, yep, that's my problem and I'm going to do this regimen to fix it, even though there's been no confirmation, no testing done, nothing. It's just like, yep, that's the type of person I am. Like, okay.
And for lunch, I have something, I really like having a soup for lunch. In fact, we have a new soup at Goop Kitchen, which is like this green soup that I warm up. It comes cold, so it kind of retains all its vibrancy. Mm-hmm. But I really like soup for lunch. I have bone broth for lunch a lot of the days. And then for dinner, I have, I forgot that part of my wellness practice is Brad and I, my husband, do TM meditation for 20 minutes every morning before the coffee. And then for dinner, I try to eat, according to paleo. So lots of vegetables. We live in California, so there are farmers markets all over, which is such a blessing, like all the vegetables, things that are in season and from local farms. And then any kind of, fish or birds. And then we try to get
pigeons, whatever's in stock outside the house.
A bit clever with carbohydrates. So like, sweet potato noodles, or we make tacos with the siete grain-free tacos, the cassava. And I find that the more that I get into the habit of not trying to, it was hard at first when I thought, I'm going to have to eliminate all the joys and all the pleasure. And it's not true. Like,
oh, you have. Oh, you have. You don't eat most of the day. When you do eat, it's bone broth and lots of vegetables and birds. Like, yeah, the joy is gone from your life. You've chosen sadness for a reason that I don't necessarily agree with, but you do you. Why not? You can join the club.
There's so many ingredients that are packed with flavor, chilies and herbs and lemon, and you can really, especially with foods like Mexican food
and also at the same time, she does all this regimen, this very strict diet, all this stuff, and she still has problems with her MFTLC detox body thing that she's created. Like, or maybe she has it, but I feel like I've never heard of that before. Oh, your detox is worse than other. I've never heard that before in my life. So I feel like it's like something they just tell people that are rich and want to spend on supplements. But yeah, like you're doing all of this. You've done this for years, and you've done meditation for years. You've done every Goop, infrared sauna. You've done the breath work, the transcendental meditation, and you still have problems with your body. It's like, whoa, what is the point? You might as well give it up and just like let loose a little bit. Why not? Thank you, Mai. Mai says she should befriend that Forever 18 guy. Yes, Brian Johnson. Apparently, I just saw that he's involved in a lawsuit where apparently he like broke up with his fiance after she was diagnosed with cancer or something. So that story took a turn a little bit. That one, just to remind everybody, Brian, we did a whole video about it. It's on the channel, obviously. And it's about this guy who is a CEO, and he's trying to live or be like he's 18 years old. And he's got the most strict routine that he thinks is helping humanity somehow, called Blueprint. And yeah, there he is. He's looking totally normal. And he's got his hair dye, which apparently is totally fine because, he will take 1 million supplements a day and eat slop for lunch, breakfast, and dinner and not go outside and sit by a lamp, but then somehow is allowed to dye his hair. So, it's like just, and he has some wine once in a while. Again, I'm like, you can drink wine, but you're not going to like live outside. I don't get these people. Don't get it. But yeah, they would be a good couple. I agree with that, Mai. Thank you for that. And for that, I say,
clear, clear, clear.
Clear, clear, clear. Bar landing. Yeah, the lawsuit, I need to look into it more. But I think it's something to do with like, I don't know, actually. Let me not say. Something to do between the two of them. Like she's suing him for some reason. And I think it's maybe for like, you promised me money or something. I don't know. I need to look into it before I talk about it. But yeah, that's happening. So someone tweeted to me about it. All right, back to it.
With Asian flavors, like you would I think if you ate dinner at our house, like most people, when our friends come over, they have no idea that they're eating like healthy food, you know, or that it's paleo.
It's just good, nutritious, yummy food.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think anyone who's going to Gwyneth Paltrow's house knows you're not going to get a filling meal.
As we're recording this right now, you have a little IV.
Oh God, hold on. Here's a shout out to Mai.
You look like a Lord of the Rings elf.
Okay, so now we're on the IV part. You have an IV hooked up to you as we speak. Okay, that's normal.
So, which is so on brand for both of us. We pod and IV at the same time.
Pod and IV.
No,
I'm really embarrassing myself right here.
But look, you're a busy person. You're running a company. So like, do you do IVs very often? People want to ask about IVs. Like what are
Yeah. I love an IV. I'm an early IV adopter. And especially because, from my other genetic stuff, like I tend to be lower in certain vitamins or glutathione. I love to have in an IV. Kind of a random, more fringy one, phosphatidylcholine. That's my favorite IV when I can find them. They're quite hard to find.
Yeah, it was hard to find one here.
And those make me feel so good. But this today, just because I was flying.
Why are they hard to find? Elaborate on that. That would be an interesting rabbit hole to go down. But no, we'll just talk about more things that they don't do in a day.
I have just a bag of good old-fashioned vitamins.
I love it. I love it. So I just want to say this, that I wrote my little notes things I wanted to cover on my Southwest ticket. This is how high.
Wait, what? Were you number 42?
A42?
42 is my...
Do you ever fly Southwest, Gwyneth Paltrow?
I don't think I have actually flown Southwest, but...
Give it a try.
I'm going to. But 42 is my lucky number.
Oh.
Why?
That means 42. My dad is with us. Every time I see the number 42.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay, I support stuff like that. Having a number that you're like, oh, every time I see 42, I think of my dad, and I know he's with us. I think that is a delightful way to live your life. The problem that I have with like angel numbers and people who are like obsessed with numbers and numerology and angel numbers, they take it so far. They're like, oh, did you just say 777? Oh my God, that means that I am better than everyone. And I'm from a galactic planet that is full of spiritual beings. And we all love the number 7. Oh my God. It's like, that's when I'm like, okay, you've taken it too far. But something like that, I think it's probably a nice balance between, believing something more than just yourself, and it's like, oh, okay, or a thing to remind you of your family member. Now, that's just my 2 cents. I think I should also insert myself when I'm like, okay, that's not too far. That is a nice range that I think would be a fun thing for people to do in their own life. That's all I've heard so far. The rest of the stuff is crazy.
No, he's always, like, I feel like you've such a spiritual awareness, I think, of life. And your dad, even just seeing that, because I was thinking of your dad as you were talking about him. Do you feel his presence quite a bit in your life today?
I was talking about this the other day with one of his best friends. I think so, but I feel like I need to make sure I conjure him more. Like, I think he's always there, but it's also when you lose someone like that, who's like the love of your life, it's really hard almost to connect with the feeling of them being there. Like it's very emotional. So I think sometimes I'll have a sense that he's, I have this connection to him, but I want to conjure him more because he's such a part of who I am. And I feel like so many of not that I have so many good qualities, but my good qualities like that come from him are so from him. And, it's just funny to go through life knowing that you had this incredibly influential, he was like my sun and my moon, and so I don't know. I feel like I need to foster the connection more, if I'm honest.
Yeah. And I'm sure that takes time too, right? To go back to that, right? After time and healing wounds, you're like almost ready maybe to do it more now.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Do you see him and your kids at all?
I see him definitely, especially in my daughter who has his sense of humor and his sort of chutzpah.
Yeah, conjure was an interesting word. Sounds very witch-like, but maybe she'll talk more about it. I don't know what she's preparing to do here. Like I said, her father passed away, so I don't know how we can really build the connection now, but I don't know. I'm not a religious person, so who's to say? I don't know.
And then my father also had this very sensitive, artistic, gentle side, and I see that in my son so much.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Great kids, honestly. It's like the most
Both of her kids, I believe, are in college now. I think they're both of college age. Apple is already in college, so her son, I think, Moses and Apple are her kids. I think they're both at least teenagers, I believe.
Well-mannered.
Thank you.
Like you did a brilliant job.
Thanks.
So sweet.
They're wet.
So let's talk about your career before Goop. Do you ever see yourself ever getting back into film, movies? Think it'll ever happen or no?
I think I've learned in life to never say never. So I guess I would
her son is 16, so he's still probably living in the house.
Say at the moment it would be impossible for me with the job that I have, but I also recognize that I am an artist. And I think entrepreneurs are artists as well. It's a very similar spirit. And I feel like that need to
I disagree
create
with that.
And that expressiveness will probably always need to come through me. And, if there's a day that my day job at Goop is less intensive, and it wouldn't surprise me if after kind of having some downtime, if I felt like, I'd love to go do a play or something like that, so I'm open. It's not something I pursue right now.
Got it. Is through all the films you've done, is there a film that really stands out that says, yeah, that was my favorite one that I made, or that's what I'm most proud of? And it's probably like picking
Austin
babies, maybe. But.
No, I feel, the films that I did that I really love, I feel so lucky to be a part of. I guess my favorite ones are really, I do think Shakespeare in Love is a great film. The Royal Tenenbaums I love. That's a early Wes Anderson movie. That's really great. The Talented Mr. Ripley seems to be a fan favorite. People still talk to me about that movie all the time. It's interesting. It's had a long life after it didn't do particularly well when it came out, but it's become kind of a classic. Yeah. I can't even remember the rest of them. I always forget what else I've been in.
Is there any film that you regret doing? Is that a thing? Or you're just, it was what it was?
I guess there are a couple that I look back and I kind of cringe a little bit when I think about them. But again, I do feel that everything in life does happen for a pretty specific reason. And I don't know, sometimes it's interesting to sit with something that you're not proud of, right? Whether it's a film that you did or whether it's something that you feel bad about. I think it's an interesting thing to sit with regret. I don't.
Celebrities are so boring. They're so boring. I can't. People are like, come on, talk about celebrities. I'm like, I can't. The self-help grifters are way more exciting in the sense of they're trying to sell you so hard that there's so much to talk about and discuss. They're like, celebrities are like, what movie did you like the best? What's your favorite color? Let's go to Peoplehood and sit in a circle. Like, boring.
Know that we do that enough because I think it can be informative. And I think it's just, we don't like to feel uncomfortable feelings.
Yeah, let's talk about Harvey Weinstein. Like, let's get into some drama. Come on, Gwen.
And so sometimes I think about things that I regret or wish I hadn't done. And I kind of force myself to just stay in that for a minute.
It's a good meditation and acceptance, probably.
Yeah.
Non-resistance.
Yes.
And kind of transmuting maybe any shame or.
Yeah. Because it's interesting those ways that shame come up and stick around. And, sometimes I'll think, oh gosh, I really feel like all the shame's out of my body and I've forgiven myself and everybody else. And then, I'll be lying in bed late at night and I'll just be gripped with something, some old feeling of shame will come back. And so I think it's important to give it the space it needs. It's like coming back to deliver some kind of message
and clearing it out. And
Yeah.
What's your love language? Is it physical touch?
Jesus Christ.
How about time together with your partner?
I could care
People
less.
get turned on in all sorts of ways.
Oh, there's an ad that he was asking her. Okay.
Invented Dipsy queerless soothing sleep to spice up. That's 30 used Manuka honey 4 years to support my energy levels, my gut. SEA stories.com/Will Cole. Dipsystories.com/Will Cole.
Oh my God, I saw that. Crazy.
I have used Manuka honey 4 years to support my energy levels, my gut,
Manuka
even as
honey.
certifications, labels. And Convita offers a variety. That's Will Cole.
How do people unironically listen to this crap? Like, I hear this stuff all the time. Like, oh, I love this podcast. Like, I love the podcast where they talk about wellness and like what people ate for dinner. It's like, don't you want like some controversy? Don't you want some fire? Don't you want some people like acting a fool so you can like think about it and go, I ain't doing that in my life? Or like some news or something. This is probably a million viewed podcast, downloaded podcast. Like, are people like, what are you guys doing? Are your lives so good? Are your lives so good that this is exciting for you? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why people like stuff like this. Explain it to me, somebody. Help.
In it, I feel like that kind of 90s, 2000s was sort of, I feel like in a way it was the sort of end of the golden era of movies, then with the advent of streamers and I think the business models have changed a lot. And I think it's changed the business a lot. I think, another thing that's changed the business a lot is the Me Too movement. I think there are very different rules and boundaries now in the industry, which I think is a really good thing. Another thing that's changed is now you kind of have where as when I was coming up, you would have these kind of.
I guess Gwyneth was, according to the Daily Mail, so I thought for some reason she didn't talk about it, but it says Gwyneth Paltrow played a key role behind the scenes in bringing down Harvey Weinstein, but she was slow to speak out against producer because she feared it would come off as sleazy and end her career, new book claims. Said the 46-year-old, so now she's 50, so this is a couple years ago, recruited other stars to speak out against Weinstein and worked behind the scenes looking into his history of sexually inappropriate behavior. But it was hair-raising for Paltrow because she feared the story would be sleazy and end her career. Her decision was especially hard because Weinstein cast her in Emma, which made her a star, as well as the lead in Shakespeare in Love, winning her an Oscar. The details are revealed in She Said, breaking the sexual harassment story that helped ignite a movement, which details Weinstein's downfall since 2017. The book also gives new details about the time Weinstein allegedly propositioned Paltrow when she was 22 at a hotel room for a meeting. One of the authors revealed at the end of it, she says he actually put his hands on her and said, "Let's finish in the bedroom." She looks miserable. He looks happy. I would like to hear more about that. I'd rather hear more about the conflicting feelings you have now looking back at your career and how you're dealing with that as opposed to what you're eating for lunch. Like, let's just normalize not asking people what they eat. How about that? I don't think anyone in the world needs to know what anyone else eats, right? Because if I know what Gwyneth Paltrow eats, I have no idea how it would affect my body. So why do I care? Let's just stop asking that. Solution found. Let's only talk about controversial topics and not eating.
Movies for adults, like, you know, you would have kind of a mid-sized budget and it would be subject matter for grown-ups that would be, you know, it's like if you think of the films of the 70s, and those are sort of gone. So now you have these big tentpole movies like the Marvel movies and those, or you have like these much, much smaller independent movies where people are still really expressing their artistry and nothing in between. And that sort of makes me a bit sad.
Yeah.
Not true.
And it's, I mean, Netflix, I guess, is trying, it's not the same experience, right? Because it's not the movie theater sort of thing, but I feel like some of that magic could come through again through Netflix. Do you see it, the industry shifting in that way?
Yeah. I mean, I think like, for example, Netflix makes great things, and just by nature of the fact that you're in your house or your bed or on your sofa, it sort of removes some of the majesty of, you know, our boys, you know, probably
You'll never get it.
Yeah. It's sort of like we have as a culture so much instant gratification, and there used to be this sort of reverential thing.
When are we getting to the keyboard warriors, conscious uncoupling, and medical gaslighting? Those sound like interesting topics. This is boring as hell.
Going to a movie and parking and walking and
We're talking about the magic of getting popcorn for $15 at the movie theater back in the 90s and how amazing it was. Like, okay, can we move on?
standing in line and getting your tickets and your popcorn. And now you're just click.
Did you once do that in your life, Gwyneth Paltrow? Like, honestly, like, did you do that ever in your life as an adult? Go to the movies with popcorn and stand in the line for a ticket? I don't think you even have that experience at all. You're reminiscing on something you did not participate in.
Your television. So I think when you lose an experiential piece of an art form like that, I mean, I don't know, we went to the opera the other night, which was so fantastic. And it's like the experience is so endemic to what that is. And in a way, going to a movie had that, carried that same experiential
As the opera
thing. And now that's gone.
Yeah.
Highly disagree.
We can give it Netflix advice and have like Netflix theaters for people who...
Remember when people used to listen to the radio and didn't have to listen to podcasts that were streamed? Ugh, the good old days, am I right?
Experience.
And I think they're buying some theaters now.
Well,
Yeah.
there we go.
So you see, you're ahead of the curve as usual.
Airbnb, Netflix, just meet with me. All right, let's talk about Goop. I have so many questions. You know,
Finally.
they're family to me. I just love you and the amazing team you have.
Thanks.
And I'm thinking of like just pivotal moments, I think, in Goop's history and in your history too. So conscious uncoupling.
Yeah.
You were transparent and honest.
Okay, conscious uncoupling. This is her getting a divorce. Reminiscent of, once again, Rachel Hollis, we're choosing joy in the divorce. Yeah, conscious uncoupling. So maybe she does get all her wellness advice from Gwyneth Paltrow. That would make a lot of sense. Let's see. Rachel, what do you have to say?
I'm a big time hippie and I'm very woo woo.
Okay, there you go. She said it herself.
About that, it was made huge global waves. Did you expect it to be that of a thing?
No, not at all. Not at all. And it was at such a tender time in my life, and I was trying so hard to protect my children, and it was hard to, because there was so much, what I saw was like so much derision and making fun. Like there was this incredibly vitriolic reaction to it at first, which I was like, wow, this is really striking a nerve. And then when I kind of got past the personal piece of it, I thought, wow, how interesting that this is really striking such a nerve. And why is it striking such a nerve? And
how interesting.
And I extrapolated it out and thought about, like, what is it about it that's so triggering? And then you think about 50% of the world's population has divorced parents. So you imagine a lot of those people probably didn't divorce in a child-centric way.
Oh, thank you, Mai, for saving us from this. We're kind of almost done, thankfully. So, we're getting through it like a bone broth soup. Ugh. Like an IV in the veins, am I right? Ugh, we need some adrenaline in those veins, Gwenny. Mai says, the real way she stays healthy is by draining our energy through this podcast. Yes, it's like the osmosis. Like she takes all of our energy that we came with and she uses it for her pores. Right? Is that right? I think that's right. Heidi, what do you have to say?
I can conquer the world.
Okay, well, thank you. Also, this was one we haven't heard in a while.
They're going to be dropping some really powerful, amazing, life-changing shiz.
But not on this podcast. We're going to get non-life-changing shiz. Nothing has been said that'll affect anything. Okay, thank you, bye. Here we go. Back to it.
Trying to maintain a family, right? So maybe it's triggering in that way, or maybe they themselves didn't get separated in a way that they feel good about in retrospect. And so maybe it's triggering in that way, or maybe it's just triggering because it sounded wacky or it was just a new thing. But I have come to feel so proud of what Chris and I were able to do because it was very difficult. It was very difficult, especially in such a public way, to talk about the way that we wanted to do it. And we didn't necessarily do it like we didn't. We have not seen modeled, and got divorced. Aggregating, and so I'll never forget. Even though we were separated, we were having brunch as a family every day, and
every day,
we were like, okay, wait, and we sort of stepped outside, and we looked at each other, and we're like, let's recommit to this. Like, hello. I love you. Like, we're doing this. We've got this. Like, we sort of giggled. Like, we were like, okay, we got this back on track. And it was just like a constant recommitment.
She's got a bug that she's chasing. So when she's done eating this bug or fighting this bug, then she'll come up.
To a relentless pursuit of the reminder of what was great about the person, why you love them in the first place, all their good qualities. And also diminishing my own ego or my own sense of being a victim, or those things that happen when, well, if he hadn't have done that, and if you hadn't have done that, it's like we can fall so easily into those things. And
all celebrities are no longer victims. Everyone wants to teach us to not be victims. It's like, I think victims should stay victims if they want to. If you've been victimized, it doesn't mean that you can't get past it or that you can't be a strong person, and also identifying as being a victim of something. I feel like I'll die on that hill. Like, to say I'm not a victim doesn't necessarily make the situation that you're in any different. And your perception of it could be like, well, I blame myself for everything that happened. It's like, I don't think that's great either. So I don't think it's the cure-all magic pill that these people think it is. It hasn't come through yet, but thank you, DC. I shouted you out earlier because I was listening to your stream about Jessie Lee, and maybe that's something we could pivot to because this podcast is boring as hell. But we haven't gotten to the ozone part, and that's the part I want to get to, so I'm going to wait it out a little bit longer. So thank you, DC. DC says, love your channel. Thank you for uncovering all this nonsense. And thank you for doing the same. Woo! Okay, and for that I say...
bold-faced lie.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I am not emotionally stable.
I say things I don't mean, okay?
There's a first for everything.
Am I right? Am I right?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, DC. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we had brunch every day, and then we just made up, and then we got divorced. Okay, good story.
It was a real lesson in, also letting go of ego.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just, isn't it say so much about our culture that the idea that you would want to do that for the sake of your kids, that was they're controversial or something to mock at. Like, it's just so, and I think of all my friends that have gone through that, they feel like they were in between. They had to pick sides. It's so common.
People come up to me and say together, like
that
I was caught in a pattern that I knew that I did not. And I realized like, gosh, I really want to be with someone who is calming to my nervous system and who brings out the best in me. And
I feel like, and this is going to be a mean thing to say, but I feel like also if you're doing so much meditation and so much wellness work and so much self-care and so much like, I don't know, I'm assuming like couples spa type activities, and the marriage can't work, and you have kids, you know, and you have successful careers, I just feel like there's no hope for any of us. I don't know. It's like or none of this is actually working. Like couples counseling, or not couples counseling, because I think that does work, but like couples, you know, coaching and couples retreats and doing spa group therapy, crying in front of a life coach with your partner to prove that you love each other and all that. It's like, if Gwyneth Paltrow gets divorced, like there's no hope for anyone who's going down that path. Oh, maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's wrong to say. Okay, I can't do it. I can't do it, you guys. I really want to talk about this ozone therapy stuff, but maybe we can just watch the clip because I am suffering here. You guys are making me suffer, and I don't want to make you all suffer any longer. So we'll have to just guess what else she said, which I'm sure was super exciting. Let's just find the clip. I guess maybe that's the key. Like, the key is only to watch the highlights. Usually I like to dive in and say, okay, let's see what else is here. Maybe, you know, they're leaving stuff out on purpose or something that gives it context. But so far, my God, nothing. Nothing was interesting. Okay, here it goes. Here's the article. So in that podcast, we're just going to have to take my word for it and BuzzFeed's word for it. It's a good thumbnail. Gwyneth Paltrow has tried rectal ozone therapy, and here's what experts think. Okay, it's known as rectal ozone insufflation therapy. Experts say there's little or no proven medical benefit of the treatment. Oh, it's just another article. Okay. So she's dabbled in many alternative therapies, but even she admits that blowing ozone gas up her rectum is, quote, pretty weird. Agreed. She's also said that it's been very helpful. Many would agree that so-called rectal ozone insufflation therapy is unusual, but not so many concur that it is helpful, at least medically speaking. Several experts spoke up on Twitter in response to Goop founder's revelation, including Dr. Kava Hoda, a gastroenterologist in Northern California who hosts the medical podcast House of Pod, who commented, "Please don't get rectal ozone therapy." Meanwhile, the FDA, which has not approved the therapy, issued a warning in 2019 that concluded that ozone is a toxic gas with no known useful medical application in specific adjunctive or preventive therapy. Also, don't put coffee in your butts either. That's another one. Coffee enemas. I guess that's popular. The therapy has been touted by some as a way to fight viruses and inflammation, support the immune system, improve blood circulation, speed healing, and more, not just in humans, but in pets also. Ozone is a combination of 3 oxygen atoms that most of us associate with the ozone layer in the upper stratosphere, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Ozone is most stable in gas form, but can also exist in liquid and solid form where it is highly combustible. Only ozone gas is used for these supposedly therapeutic purposes. An ozone-generating device is used to create medical-grade versions of the gas. Not only can it be blown up your rectum, but it can also be introduced through your ears or vagina. There you go. Thank you, doctors. Finally. The cures we need. Finally. Through your ears, applied under a covering to your skin, mixed in your blood, injected or ingested. However, inhaling it is highly dangerous. Okay, is there benefit to this, or are we just doing this for fun? Once introduced into your body, ozone supposedly has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects, which makes it beneficial for chronic disease. Although the jury is still out, according to Dr. Eric Asher, a family medicine physician in Lenox Hill Hospital. Small studies and case reports have looked into the effectiveness of the therapies, although the Cleveland Clinic calls the evidence low quality and limited. It has been studied in relation to chronic pain and fibromyalgia. The Egypt-based authors of one paper published in 2021 said 1 or 2 sessions of rectal ozone therapy seemed safe. That's the study I'm listening to. It seems safe. I don't know. And may have helped blood oxygen in 2 patients with COVID-19, although the study did not include placebos or other controls. Another study of 9 COVID patients found that ozone supplemented blood transfusions, the patient's blood was drawn, treated with ozone, and returned to the body, seemed to help speed recovery from pneumonia. However, in 2020, a federal court in Texas barred a health and wellness center from promoting ozone therapy to treat COVID-19, labeling it fraudulent promotion of supposed COVID-19 treatments that do no good and that could be harmful. Is it safe? Probably not. Along with efficacy, the safety of ozone therapy is still an open question. According to Asher, the rectal delivery may cause bloating and fatigue. How could it not? How could it not give you crazy gas? You're literally inserting gas up your butt. I would assume that there's gas that would need to be released later. Okay. As well as stomach and rectal discomfort. More troubling is the risk of air embolisms, a blood clot in your lungs when inhaling. Inhaling may also cause pulmonary edema when your lungs filled with liquid. That sounds good. People who have worked with ozone when using cleaning supplies or working in wastewater, among other industries, have experienced trouble breathing, coughing, headaches. Long-term exposure can lead to asthma. One problem is that to be effective, especially in killing germs, ozone therapy has to be highly concentrated, making it dangerous according to the FDA. It can be toxic to human cells, potentially causing damage to the mucus lining of the colon. There's also a good chance it could affect the gut microbiome, and that's probably not something you do willy-nilly. Asher also recommends not undergoing ozone therapy in some of the very situations it is supposed to be useful. If you're fighting an infection or your body is under stress, it can be thrown into more severe infection. Okay, yeah. I want to play a video that's short about Gwyneth Paltrow, and it involves someone with a shirt. What a shirt this is. This is Hailey Bieber. She's in the spotlight right now for stalking Justin Bieber. Well, I guess she was. I don't know. There's a Selena, Hailey, Justin Bieber triangle right now going on in the world that I also don't care about. But I care about this shirt being horrible. What is this? And also, we need to talk about this in the sense of, why does this person have a show? This is a fully produced show, and this is allegedly her bathroom, but it sounds like there's a live audience here. I need to know what's going on. Why do we do this, and why do we allow this to happen? Who is paying for this? Is she paying for this? Like the Baldwin side of the family is paying for this to occur, or do people actually consume this media? I don't want to be mean, but like, what does she have to say? Like, why are you a talk show host? Is she what is the qualification to do this? Nothing? Money? Okay, I got it. I already know my own answer. All right, well, this involves Gwyneth Paltrow, but I think what she says in the beginning is funny and sort of shockingly like, what? Like funny, not funny haha, but funny peculiar. And you'll know the point when we get there.
Everyone, it's Hailey, and we are back today with another episode of Who's in My Bathroom.
Literally, like, why does this show exist? With Hailey Road Bieber. Who's in my bathroom? This is so stupid.
In the new, beautifully refurnished bathroom, thanks to Pottery Barn. I am so excited about today's situation in the bathroom. I actually can't even believe I'm about to say who this next guest is. Please help me welcome Gwyneth Paltrow. Hello. Welcome to the bathroom.
I can't get over the shirt. I'm sorry.
Wow, this is quite the bathroom.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited.
So this is her cooking show that I heard about with Selena in her bathroom? So dumb.
To have you.
I think I know your dad and your uncles.
That's my favorite thing that people say to me. Any stories?
I did a movie with your dad, actually.
Oh, not me not knowing that.
Well, it was a tiny independent movie.
She's on TikTok a lot. Not me not knowing that. It's giving not knowing my dad's career.
I think I was like 20 years old, so it was a really long time ago. But he was great. He was so nice.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, it was
Imagine
awesome.
if you had some horror story and you were like,
That
he was
would be-
terrible, it was a nightmare working
that would
with
be
him.
bad. Or if I had like your dad in the bathroom.
I've had that happen to me, actually. I don't know if he even knows that I know that, but I have had that happen.
I didn't.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Okay. You are here.
Okay, that's as much as I watched, and I was like, That was uncomfortable for me. Like, if someone were to say that to me, like, oh, I met your dad. I know your dad from, you know, college or whatever. Like, oh, that's cool. Can you imagine if I fucked your dad? Like, what? Oh my God. She's like, that happens to me all the time. It's so funny. It's like, what is this show? Why are we in your fake bathroom on a set with a crew and people clapping? Yeah, so she's gonna make a smoothie, and I don't know if it's worth watching. I think that's the highlight of this video for me, was that moment. Can you imagine? And then she's like, oh, yeah, it's another day in paradise. Okay. All right, so here's a response video that I pulled where she's gonna respond to the hate that people had about that podcast. That nothing that was in there that was that crazy other than boring. So that's my critique on this one. But she's going to respond to the backlash here where she's, you know, this is her courtroom look. She's going to do a quick Instagram before she heads over to court.
And by the way, I eat far more than bone broth and vegetables.
Gwyneth Paltrow is responding to the backlash over her wellness routine. The Goop founder takes to Instagram on March 17th to respond to a fan who asked the 50-year-old about the negative reaction to a recent podcast she did, in which she described what she eats in a day. After internet users accused her of promoting restrictive eating, Gwyneth responds with a video answer.
I think it's important for everybody to know that I was doing a podcast with my doctor. So this is a person that I've been working with for over 2 years now to deal with some chronic stuff. And I have long COVID.
To deal with some chronic stuff. That's the thing that I'm like hung up on. It's like, you own a wellness company. You do everything that money can buy to help yourself. She does Ayurveda, you know, oil pulling, dry brushing, sauna. She does everything. I've already talked about the myriad number of things. She can go on a wellness retreat. She can go on a wellness spa. She can take every supplement. She can have every organic piece of food. And yet she still has a chronic condition. It's just like, what is the point? What is the point of all this? Like, she's made $250 million a year on the basis of live your best life, your healthiest life. Like, but yet you still have this chronic illness. Like, I'm not saying that, of course, like, oh, she should heal it, but like, what is the point of doing all of these difficult, I don't know, uncomfortable, a lot of them, expensive treatments? What's the point?
So I have been, and the way it manifests for me is very high levels of inflammation over time. So I've been working with Dr. Cole.
And the Iron Man star wants fans to know she also has the occasional French fry.
By the way, I eat far more than bone broth and vegetables.
She has an occasional French fry? Oh my God, loser.
There's Colleen.
There's Colleen. I cannot listen to her advice anymore. The fact that she eats an occasional French fry, do you not have discipline? Ugh, gross.
Vegetables. I eat full meals. And I also have a lot of days of, you know, eating whatever I want and eating, you know, French fries and whatever. But my baseline, and it really has been like to try to be healthy and to eat foods that, you know, will really calm the system down.
On March 13th, the Oscar winner appeared on the Art of Being Well podcast with Dr. Will Cole and gave a rundown of her daily food intake, which includes bone broth and vegetables.
Do a nice intermittent fast. I usually eat something about 12. And in the morning, I'll have some things that won't spike my blood sugar, right? So I have coffee, but I really like soup for lunch. I have bone broth for lunch a lot of the days. And for dinner, I try to eat, you know, according to paleo. So lots of vegetables. It's really important for me to support my detox.
The clip quickly went viral, with TikTokers accusing the star of promoting unhealthy eating habits. Comments included, "Is starving wellness?" And
yes.
What is she detoxing from?
According to Goop. Oh yeah, okay. What is she detoxing from if she doesn't eat? Probably all the Goop products she has in her system.
If she doesn't eat. But in the new clip, Gwen says her diet is specific to her health needs and adds she's not telling anyone else how to live.
This was a transparent look at a conversation between me and my doctor. It's not meant to be advice for anybody else. It's really...
I mean, I will give her that. She doesn't seem to be the type that's like, this is how you should live your life and selling a course about it. But I mean, it's inferred that she's a successful person in life. She owns a wellness company, seems to be very obsessed with wellness. So I think it's safe to say if you're coming on a public platform and talking about, what was the podcast called? Like being well or something, like how to be well. I think it's fair to say that, you know, people are going to think that it's advice. Now, I don't think she said explicitly, like, this is the plan for you, but not many do that. So, and I also find it to be ironic that like there's a filter obviously glitching in the background of this. It's like, we are such in a dystopian nightmare already. Like, you know, I gave, speaking of Heidi Powell, Heidi, where are you?
I'm going to smash your phone.
I saw Heidi Powell has decided to go filter free, right? And I was like, good for you, Heidi. I posted on my story. I was like, you know, I think that's great. I'm surprised and I'm like, you know, optimistically supporting her in that choice. And she also said she wasn't going to put her kids on Instagram anymore. I was like, wow, maybe we got through to her. Maybe she's taking like some time to think about stuff. And then literally that video was like filtered. And then she put her kids on like the next day. I'm like, God, I look like such an idiot. I give one day of positivity. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to actually support somebody for once in my life. And then they stab me in the back immediately, stab. And they start, you know, posting the literal video I'm talking about. I'm like, wait, I think that's a filter. Anyways, I just feel like filters and Botox and all this stuff, like, I get it. Trust me, I get it. But it's just like, it's too far gone. Like, we're done. Like, our whole sense of self-worth is gone because like we're not even looking at human beings anymore on a daily basis. We're looking at AI generated avatars layered on top of faces. It sucks.
Just what has worked for me. And
exciting. Great. Thank you, E-News. E-News is providing all the best entertainment for my life. This is how I live. Here's her husband now, just in case we're curious. Voyeuristically. I am Brad. Here, let me move myself. Brad Falchuk is her current husband. I did not know that, so I thought it was interesting to bring up. He is a director and television writer on the cursed show Glee. That is a cursed show, as you may know. And not in the real way, but like there's been like 3 major deaths of, you know, celebrities essentially of that show. And Ryan Murphy's kind of like a controversial figure. And apparently he's a part of this show too. So a little small world again. And he was a writer and executive producer on Nip Tuck, one of my favorite shows back in the old days, about plastic surgeons in Miami. And he's married to Gwyneth now. And yeah, that's really the only interesting part. And nothing else that I saw of note. But just in case you ever wondered who she's married to nowadays, there he is. What is this one? Oh, this is about the skiing. We talked about that. We talked about the IV. Okay. We talked about Florence Pugh's boyfriend and dad look the same. Okay. Here's a TikTok unrelated to Goop, sort of. But this is Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty has a wellness product now. It's a smoothie from Erwan, which is a store that came around because probably, I'm assuming, Whole Foods became too regular people. Too many regular people are shopping at Whole Foods nowadays, and the rich need to be above. So they created Erwan to keep the riffraff out of there. And so now, of course, our good friend Jay Shetty, the monk, the former monk and current grifter, has a product there, and he's going to talk about it for us. So here we go.
Hey everyone, it's Jay Shetty. I'm here at Erwan and I'm about to make my love potion. It's out 14th of February, so whether you're single or whether you're in a relationship, this is what you need to drink. I'm about to make it, so.
It's a love potion, guys. It's a love potion. So all of you sad people out there with no relationships, just come on over to Erwan for $47 probably. 'cause everything's expensive there, you can fall in love just like him.
We're going to start off with some oat milk. And then got some strawberries.
Strawberries.
Got some raspberries. Oh, threw some at you.
Raspberries.
Got a banana.
Banana.
Got some rose. This is going to give it that extra special flavor.
Rose.
Then we've got avocado. Everyone knows what this is, especially
What's
an
that?
erwan. All right, got that.
What's avocado?
Guess what this is? Beets. But it won't taste like beets, I promise.
Is it beets?
It's just for the color. And then we've got our Joyo unsweetened black tea for that special taste. We got some of that moon juice sex dust.
Whoa!
This is the maple syrup.
Well, they cut something out of there. They're like, we don't want to place this product in. This product is not cool enough. Cut. Edit. Okay, moon juice. All right.
And then we've got this 1111 adaptogenic mushrooms.
God.
There we go.
These people are so pretentious. I hate it.
There we go. We've got date syrup. Is that enough?
I don't know. It's your potion.
We've got lacuma. Chocos.
What?
And almond butter.
Almond butter.
Obviously the last one chooses not to come out.
Great content. Thank you so much for that. Oops. We're not leaving. Sorry. Click the wrong button. Love it, Jay Shetty. Love it. Leave it. I heard that some people are not loving his live events because they've crossed the line, which I find shocking that someone that would go to one of those would feel that way. But I've heard that they are very Tony Robbins-esque, where he's forcing people to call their loved ones and reconcile with them during the live shows. And they're putting he's putting people from the audience in boxes, like a person will volunteer or whatever, and they have to go in a box and be like blindfolded, and I don't know, it's wackadoo. And it's like, why is he qualified to do any of this? He's not. He's just as qualified as Tony Robbins, I suppose. So they're like, well, if he can do it, why can't I do it? And he's just going for it. But I find it to be frustrating that people continually have him on the news and bring him up as some sort of expert in mental health. That's how Ellen brought him up on the show when she had him on the one time. She's like, it's Mental Health Awareness Month and perfect timing because Jay Shetty's here. I was like, what? He has a brain? Like, he has mental health. I don't know why else he would be relevant to this conversation because he has no training or degrees or anything valuable to offer other than his own fucking opinion. So why are we doing this on a national stage? But I digress. Okay. What do we want to do now? Do we want to look at Jessie Lee? The only thing is in DC, maybe you can tell me where I can find this. I've been blocked on Jessie Lee's Instagram, so I cannot watch it there. Is there any other place I can watch it? Or we can just watch your channel, but I don't want to stream your stream because that's not fair. Let's see. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can. I think Instagram has gotten much better about not being able to look up people's stuff when you don't have an account. Or you have an account that, could be associated with them. Let's see though. Instagram. And I've watched up until she was talking about her childhood trauma and getting the IV. So I missed quite a bit of it. But I guess she's doing okay. And the good news is, and this is just from what I watched on DC's. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. I said to log out. Nope. Scoop. Okay. Here we go. Wait. Can I watch it or no? Yeah, do you mind sending me the link, DC? Thank you. I should be able to watch it now. Maybe not. Here's the last post. Oops. I guess I can't open anything. Dang, that sucks. Yeah, the only thing that I can see is the picture, but when you click on it, it's like, sign in? Like, no, that's the point. That's why I'm on here. Tough. Well, yeah, she was doing a live with her boyfriend, with her boo thing, and she was basically saying that, you know, she was doing the same lives she was doing before. Where is it? Where is it?
Boo thing.
Packing boxes and talking and stuff. And, you know, she's sort of mentioned that she was like kind of lonely and it's been a lonely journey, but she was really happy with the CEOs from Prove It. And then she was talking about her childhood trauma and that there was, you know, that's the reason why she has cancer. And then I had to go into my own therapy session. So I could not continue it. It was on her Facebook. Okay, Facebook I can access. Thank you for holding on, everybody. We're getting there. Facebook. Haha. Okay, we're live. We're good. Okay, here we go. So this is from, wait, is this it? The 19th?
Hello, everybody. What's going on? It's Jessie Lee. You can call me Boss Lee.
Yeah, this is it, I think. So it says, hey guys, checking in and packing up the trials from the last few days when I was on holiday and off the internet. Okay, here we go.
Or the people's mentor. I help people make 6-7 figures from their bones. What's up? So I'm going to pack your guys' trials really fast, and then I'm going to go have some dinner. The boys are cooking dinner right now. I just got back from my holiday.
This is it, right, DC? I'll check my DMs, but this is it, right?
Weekend. And I'm just going to pack your guys' stuff and then be off of here. But I figured I'd chat with you guys. It's been a while. So hi, how are you? Yo. And then we're going to rock and roll. So...
And just a reminder, in case you're watching this and you're like, I don't get it. This is an MLM the number one MLM person in the world, marketer in the world, according to her. There's debate about that, whether that's true or not. But, you know, someone very successful in the MLM space, someone who's been doing this for a long time. She recently got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I knew about her. I knew who she was previously to this, but I found out about her more and covered her for the first time on my channel when she hosted a retreat in Colombia where she took people that were not necessarily physically fit on a pretty long, like 18-hour hike you know, they debated whether that was accurate or not, but regardless, 18 hours walking is still pretty bad. Someone had to be like escorted by a random person they flagged down in Colombia because they were walking in the heat on the side of a road, and they had to sleep outside, and they had to be watched by their tour guides because it's a dangerous part of the, you know, world, and they were sleeping on the beach and didn't have a blanket. It was like all this stuff, not the best. I thought it was very manipulative, and it, you know, was supposed to help you grow and all this, and it just seems silly to me. But then shortly after that happened, she got diagnosed and came forward and said that she has stage 4 colon cancer. So then people started telling me that for years she has said, do not get a mammogram. It's bad for you. Do not get any tests. It's bad for you. And I haven't seen that material personally, so I can't say like, yes, this is confirmed by me, because I have not seen it. I didn't look for it either, but I can believe that based on some of the way she talks about how she believes disease comes true and how that is. And she's talked about on TikTok, you know, before she was diagnosed, that she's not sick because she believes that she's never gets sick and that she doesn't use hand sanitizer and stuff like that. And she was like kind of inferring that people who got the COVID vaccine were just scared. So, you know, that's the vibe I'm getting from her. So I can believe that she would say those other things that people said. And then in this video, she's going to talk about, I read Tony Robbins' book, the one that Rachel Hollis interviewed Tony Robbins about recently, where he was talking about how, you know, or no, the last one, Life Force, the one before the last interview, where it's all about medical stuff, and you can join his medical, you know, team for 50 grand a year to get, your health and be a CEO of your health. So now she's saying that is why she went and got testing. Because I was speculating, like, why would you get an MRI out of nowhere? Why would you get this cancer test out of nowhere? And she has lost a significant amount of weight in the last little bit. So, and that's one of the symptoms of this cancer. So I was saying, like, in my mind, speculating that she had gone because she was having symptoms, but she's lying about it and publicly because she doesn't want it to be associated with her MLM products. Now, that's just me saying that. I have no idea. And I also wish her the absolute best. In this, she also talks about going to a cancer treatment center, a hospital, MD Anderson, I believe, in Texas. So I think that's the best way to go. So I'm happy for her that she's doing that. But that's sort of the update. And now she's coming live to talk about it. So I did miss a lot of it, but that's the general overview. If you're just coming in and you're like, I don't know who the hell this person is, that's who she is.
This will be a casual. You can ask questions, you can chat with me, you can do whatever, and then we're gonna rock and roll. I can't find another one of my, I need another device. I need to go live on TikTok also, but I don't know where all my devices are. I think some of the boys are like hiding them from me, but that's okay. So my getaway was awesome. We went to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, which I had never been there before. By the way, I put on all my weight again from post-surgery, so, well, I did also eat. So here's my little swollen tummy from surgery, but whatever. Everything's good except for my ugly belly button, and I'm good to go. So, hey, you guys rock too. It's good to see you. So good to see you. So good to see you. Yes, I miss you guys too. I'm chilling out is what I've been doing. That's where I've been. I've been feeling great. Surgery was...
I don't know. I'm not sure. She says in this that she has to still get some test results back. But it was my understanding that, she said the pathology was not good. But she was not going to take that as the truth, and she was going to believe that she was healed. That was the last thing I saw. That was like an Instagram story. So I'm not sure what the actual... She's kind of... She said in one post, she's like, I'm never going to say the word cancer. And then she used it in this, at least once I remember hearing it, and I was sort of surprised because she said, I'm not going to even like give it any energy. So I don't know. She seems to kind of be like updating her not ethics, but like how she's handling it as she goes. So it's changing.
It was actually super easy, but a lot of that just has to do with my fitness level. So yeah. Surgery was good. I do feel great. Treatment will start probably in like 2 weeks or something like that. Still waiting on genetic testing back from one other thing. I got genetic testing back from my blood, but not from the tumor yet. And so just waiting on that to decide everything, and headed to MD Anderson next Friday, I think. 27th, whenever that is. So, yeah. Spray beauty water on your belly button. Yeah. Y'all also said that water was going to make it so I can't get cancer. You lied about that. I'm just kidding.
I thought that was kind of funny. Like someone, I guess in the comments is saying like, spray this on your stomach. And she's like, yeah, you told me that was going to help me not get cancer. Isn't that so true? Like all these supplements and things, it's like, okay, take it so that you don't get sick. Like only idiots like get sick. And if you don't believe in yourself, you'll get sick. And then you get it. And then it's like, well, take it to cure yourself now. It's like, do you not see that this is all bullshit? Okay. People who comment that stuff, I'm like, stop giving your MLM or holistic advice to people. Like, stop it.
All right, so let's see. You said how to learn how to speak like an entrepreneur. How did you do that? Books. A lot of it is taking time to do stuff, right? So hey, yes. So we did have a great getaway. Yes. Thanks for all the prayers, by the way. It's been pretty amazing seeing the insane outreach of support. I really appreciate it. Well, it was really loud at first. It's not that loud anymore. It's like people were like, oh, let me send a message. And then, so thousands of people day one, and then nobody says anything after it. So I actually just...
It's sort of telling and interesting.
I did not know one, but I feel bad for people who don't have like a very, very large following, because cancer is very lonely. I can tell you guys that from personal experience already, and it's been like 3 weeks or a month. The RV trip was awesome. Was really awesome. Big fan of doing that. I'm gonna buy an RV for sure. and just chill, you know, travel. Definitely want to go up to Canada and do all kinds of stuff in Canada because haven't really had the opportunity to do Canada too much. I've been to Canada multiple times, but never like out west where all the really beautiful stuff is. So yeah, MD Anderson is the best. I think the whole website is 27% off. Yeah, I haven't really been online obviously though, for more than 2 full days. So I'm back. What can I say? Thanks for the prayers. Yeah, the world does need me. The world does need me. Y'all are right.
I mean, she seems pretty positive. I think that's a good thing to feel. Now, whether it's real or not, I don't know, because this is obviously on camera. She's got a business thing going on. She's packing orders, so who knows what's real and what's not. But I mean, given the circumstances, the fact that she is positive, I don't think is a negative thing right now.
Repost something that I really loved. It was talking about, it's in my Instagram story right now. You guys can look. This is a love bundle, by the way. This is like the best bundle right now. So I don't even remember what's in here. What the hell is in a love bundle? It's been so, apparently it's not this. Hold on, I do know what's in here. I made these bundles, but now I don't remember because it's been so long. But anyway, I think it's 2 of these. I really have to look at the photo. I can't remember. I know you get a keto up, and then I think you get like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that, ketones. I don't remember. I really got to look at it. I can't lie to you guys. Hold on. Let's figure out what's in a love bundle before there's... Oh my God. The dogs really loved... the dogs really, really love the RV, so they love it. They love it, they love it. Okay, this gets 2 keto... Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah, these trials are in the link in the bio. Yes, you guys can check that out as well. I was like, I'm gonna go live and do this. I haven't gone live in a hot minute to talk to you guys, and I'll answer, you know, whatever question. By the way, I can read everything. I'm ignoring questions that I don't want to answer, just so you know. So I always look well because I am well. I'm not sick anymore, man. In my head, in my mind, in my heart, in my body, and everything. I refuse. So I refuse to feel that I'm sick. I don't believe I'm sick. So keto kicks used to be my.
Okay, so to me, that just means she's deciding not to acknowledge it, which it's her right to do that. I got no real issues with that necessarily.
Favorite product as an FYI. Keto kicks are like 5-hour energy except for no crash. I say it used to be because I don't drink caffeine anymore. I'm doing no caffeine to help with keeping my sympathetic nervous system chilled out, which is also why I just did no phones for 2 straight days. Hi, Joe Ellen. How are you? My stage presence is amazing. Thank you, Kish. Love my necklace. Thanks. This is actually from my CEO. He sent me a Cartier necklace. Love it. Sasha is still here. Yes. So yes. No, I had no symptoms. So 0 symptoms, which is why you guys should all get your buttholes checked. All right.
That's what she's saying. She has no symptoms. I still don't know if I believe that. And I've actually done not a lot, but I've watched several videos from cancer patients from different hospitals that have talked about their journey and like what they saw and what their symptoms are. Just because I've been curious about it. And there's been like a few articles that have come out recently. I think on Sunday, the New York Times just made an article about how there has been a fairly large increase, and it's like not significant, like millions or people are dying, but like younger people being diagnosed with more severe colon cancer than ever before. It's actually going down in older people and rising in younger people. And they're saying older people, the like marketing has worked to get people to do the colonoscopy more often, and the awareness has paid off of how to, catch it early for older generations, because they suggest it at 45, I believe now, or 50 to get a colonoscopy as part of your yearly routine. But younger people are apparently getting diagnosed at a higher level, and they don't know exactly why. There's some speculation about, higher or more meat-driven diet, and they even said like soda, but they weren't sure. So it seems, they're trying to figure it out, but there is statistically more younger people getting diagnosed. So I've been, kind of keeping up with it a little bit. But almost everybody has had symptoms. No one that I watched has said, I read a Tony Robbins book who suggested to get a full body MRI, and that's how I found out. It's almost unheard of to have no symptoms at, stage 4. But not to say that she's lying, I don't know, but it's just very unlikely that you'd have such severe and not have one symptom at all.
It's not that I actually got my butthole checked, but I did get you don't get the whole of your butt checked. You get, your intestines checked. But read the book Life Force by Tony Robbins. So he talks about ordering a full body MRI for yourself. He talks about ordering a gallery Grail test. I did those things, and the rest is history. But yeah, no caffeine. So let's continue putting these together. Okay. So yes, thank you for that comment. Yes, Sasha would love for me to answer this for you. Let me hear more about the inner child healing. So what I've learned from a lot of like the research of this, and he's listening like, come on girl, you can do this, is the likelihood of this cancer happening, the cancer that's gone and in a laboratory now, okay? And we have realized this is from a lot of emotional trauma from when I was young, and then I have constantly been in fight or flight response my whole life. So
I just disagree with this completely. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not in her situation, so however you want to deal with it and think about it, it's her right, obviously. And, if it helps you, then fine. I just think when you're looking at someone like this, explain this to the greater population and you're thinking about it for yourself, I disagree, because it's blaming yourself for something that you can't really help, probably. It could be, she said it was genetic previously. She said it was a genetic mutation the last time I heard her talk about it. Now it's caused by childhood trauma. It's like, I just don't agree with that. I think everyone's got something going on at some point. So it's like, I don't know. I just think it's like life happens, shit happens. Like, this is not necessarily fair. And then, of course, not her specifically, but people probably preying on her. People who are like, I can heal your inner child by Zoom calling with me, is going to make money off of people like her, and her probably herself, which I think is gross, because it's like, you're not going to heal someone's cancer by telling them, oh, like, just get over your anger at your parents. It's just like, I don't know. And I've said this before, like, I've been the angriest I've been, like, in the last 2 years of my whole life. I was very happy, very positive, very into all this crap before. And I feel healthier now as a more angry person than I was as a positive, thinking my thoughts are all positive all the time person. So it's like, I don't know. These aren't just, and again, what about children? What about infants that have diseases? Like, if it's not law, like the law of attraction, if it's not a law, then what is it? Just a fluke? Like, that's what it seems like. And if it's a fluke, don't spend your hard-earned cash trying to solve a fluke problem, because it's not going to work.
This whole top producer, amazing at everything, like controlling all things, is amazing for business, okay? It's amazing for my lifestyle. It's not great for me as a human. So I'm constantly in my masculine energy. I'm constantly just like going to, honestly, I think try to sort of...
Okay, again... Isn't that the reason why people pay you money to teach them? Because this is your lifestyle and everyone's trying to emulate your lifestyle. And now you're saying, actually, this is the reason why I'm sick. It just seems like a total 180 from your entire brand.
Impressed little girl Jessie Lee because she was so unsafe all the time. And my childhood was horrific, yes. And it's interesting because something I guess, learned through all of this is I absolutely have gratitude for what my parents taught me, which was a lot of bad stuff. I have turned out to be the exact opposite of my parents. With that said, I emotionally, because of it, have had like no healing. So I haven't like, as much as I'm like, yeah, I forgive. You can say you forgive, but your body holds on to all of that. So just being really nice to myself, slowing it way, way, way down. The amount of work I've been doing, I would say, is probably 15 minutes a day, which has been such a blessing for network marketing. It makes me love network marketing more than I ever did. And y'all know I've been like king.
If you had a different job, you would just take the time off or get medical leave. You wouldn't have to work any minutes of the day. So that argument's stupid.
Of network marketing, king. Sometimes the king is a female. I've been king of MLM, yeah, for a minute, for a long time. And that's the whole point of it, right? Is to be able to make millions and 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 millions of dollars, but be able to chill. And I've just never chilled. I've had no chill. I've been number one in every category, every year, in everything I've ever done. And so I'm so excited that this year it'll be, I hope I'm like number 8, Like, I hope that I'm just kind of like sucking this year, but not sucking because my checks are still way up in the moon. You know what I mean? So yeah, like
I don't know.
I
don't know what to say about all that. It seems like it's a performance, like this is a script or something. Not that she's reading a script, but like I don't think she actually talks like this off camera. I think she's got a persona that she puts on to sell to a certain type of person. Like, because it just seems so at odds with what she's saying here. Like, I have cancer and it's caused by my parents' trauma, but MLMs are the best and I'm so grateful and my checks are at the moon. It's like, those two things don't even make sense together in the same sentence.
It's been really relaxing. So my phone, actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but your phone turns off. This is like a new revelation of mine. I actually have the book, The Body Keeps Score. Yes, I've read so much, actually. I've been meditating every single day. I've never been a meditator. We've been priming. We've been doing the most. But anyway, so I don't want to be top recruiter this year. I don't want to be top in MVP development this year because I'm not top recruiter. So if I'm not top recruiter, I can't develop the most MVPs. I don't want to be top in sales. I don't want to be top in anything except for top in income. Okay, so let's keep the income number one and let me keep on healing. Cool. So team, if you're watching, just keep doing the most. Okay. I am recruiting a lot as well though. So luckily I have systems in place for everything. So I still have a bunch of new recruits this month and they're all onboarded. They're all in the systems. They're all doing business camp. They're all doing everything. And so I'm excited because those people are still winning. So,
yeah, if she was like a full-time secretary somewhere, making less money probably, but or working at a sales job, could be making the same money at a real company that's not dependent on recruitment of your own downline and selling products that are overpriced and not certified by anything. I think this is the reason why it's she's still here and doing this stuff on a live as opposed to actually going offline and actually, taking a break. You are allowed that time. And I don't know, if you really had that, I don't know. I doubt the income just because if you had millions in the bank, why are you still doing this? There's in my mind, and maybe we're just different people, which we are, but if we, why would you still do this? At this point, just take 6 months off. I don't get it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. And that's another thing I have to work on. So we've had a lot of revelations with Sasha Franz being here during this cancer journey. Okay. And that, geez. I don't even know where I was going to go with that. I haven't had ketones. Fudge. I need some flipping ketones, man. I don't know what I was gonna say. Dang, I really haven't had ketones in a minute. And you need these, by the way. This is for focus and energy, mostly for me, but Frontline is crushing business camp. Of course they are. So yeah, no, I was gonna say something else about Sasha, but now I really can't remember. So hold on.
I don't know where Mateo went. There was Sasha and Mateo, and now it's just Sasha. Maybe Mateo is a hater now. I don't know.
Let's finish the very first trial of all of these. Brittany says it's been one of my best months ever. See, I just need to chill. Bow! No, but it's actually really cool because it's allowing me to have our leaders step up for the first time. And some of the leaders are not ready for it, and that's okay. But the amount of leaders who absolutely are is powerful stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so I've been really enjoying that. That has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So watching leaders step in, and then Empire University, obviously I attended. I didn't know I was going to attend, actually. I actually thought that I wasn't going to, but then we went to the event. It was amazing, and I did not do any of the interviews I had planned. So I was actually a little, not heartbroken, but it was difficult for me because I don't know you guys. I don't know people. I know you know who these people are. So I was asked to be on the Boss Babe podcast. So Danielle Canty asked me to be on her podcast. She is a CEO of Boss Babe. So if you followed anything Boss Babe, she had asked me. I said, absolutely. I'll come to California because Lori Harder, who y'all probably know, had asked me. Sasha has stepped up more than ever, and I'm super grateful. So had asked me, hey, will you be on my podcast in Arizona? I said yes. And then Dan Martell, who you probably also know, said, will you be on my podcast? And it was literally March 4th, March 5th, March 6th at Ed Milet's house. And then March 7th, I was going to get to Vegas. And then when I got to Vegas, I was going to be doing Empire University on the 9th, 10th, and 11th. But on the 9th at lunch, I was going to go over to Brad Lee's and be on the Brad Lee show. And I got asked by, oh my God, there's 3 other podcasts I got asked to be on, big freaking podcasts. And I was like, in my Jessie Lee, okay, by the way, Boss Lee is dead. Okay, we don't know her anymore right now. My Boss Lee really wanted to be like, absolutely like we're doing these. My Jessie Lee was like, we're gonna take care of that girl. So we're gonna take care of her. Thank you, Amber Wade, for your order, by the way, for the love bundle that took me 25 minutes to pack. We're going to take care of her for the first time. And I just told all of them before I even announced to you guys about the colon cancer and stuff like that. I said, guys, my mind is just not really in a business place right now. And the story after I'm done with treatment.
Well, because what are you supposed to, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, what are you supposed to say? The whole point of being on their shows is to be like, I am the most successful, positive, hardworking person that's ever existed. Join my team. It's amazing. I'm a millionaire. The whole brand is a lifestyle marketing brand, right? Like, be like me, join my team, sell my products. You can be like me one day if you work hard, quote unquote. So yeah, okay. So that if you go on and say, I now have very serious cancer and I've also been consuming my MLM products during this whole time when I've been developing this cancer, that is not a good thing for your company. That is not a good thing for you. And yeah, I think it makes sense to not go on unless you want to be real and like talk about life stuff. But I don't know if that would even fit on those podcasts because it's all about, you know, an image, a perception that everything's perfect because you're a product now and you're selling yourself. So if you're, you know, damaged goods as what they probably think, because if you're not, you know, producing at a high level and making the company money, you're useless. Like, I don't think she's a useless person whatsoever. I wish that she would leave. I think everyone that is in an MLM, I wish they would get a different job so they can have the security to be able to take time off when you need it, go on a vacation, have money and not be hustling your whole life, or become an entrepreneur of a different company, like something where you can have legitimate, you know, income and insurance, and you don't have to rely on scammy tactics to grow it. That's my hope in all of this, but, you know, I don't know. I feel like sometimes when my criticisms get, you know, confused, or I sort of think that I'm like, my purpose here is to critique and to get angry at these people. It's like, I really want them to get out of what they're doing so they can have a better life. I don't know. That's how I really feel. And I'm like, maybe it doesn't come off like that, but that's what I want, really.
And recovery is going to be so freaking good. You're going to want me on the podcast then. So don't even worry about it. Yes, boss camp's done. Yes, we have business camp now. That's correct. Good question. I guess you're on the team, so yeah. But yeah, so podcasts are exploding though. Still been doing I know you guys know this probably, but still been doing Accelerator. So Accelerator is still enrolling, and that's amazing. I'm super excited about it. I love it. It's it's gonna sound so weird, but you know, Mr. Eduardo Mileto texts me every day now. I'm like, dude, we're gonna be best friends by the end of this. Okay, I'm okay with that.
I got to this part of the live. I was like, that's the standard you have for yourself, Boss Lee. Getting texted by Ed Milet, like, you're paying him money to be coached by him, and he claims to be this like super nice guy. Like, I don't know. I feel like I would have higher standards. Like, you better be sending flowers to my house every single day if you want me to think that you're a good person. I don't know. I have really harsh standards for people. I'm like, oh, you text me every day? So what? Like, prove that you care about me, jerk.
But I'm sort of kidding, but I'm also like, yay! If this is the weird thing that gets us to be even closer, I'm down with it, Ed. I'm down with it. This is a clearance bundle for Bonnie. Thank you for your order. It's 20 different flavors.
Like, you deserve to be friends with Ed Milet. Ed Milet has done nothing more than you have done, Boss Lee. Like, have some confidence in yourself. Like, you don't need to, like, sell to them. Like, you have done it already. You have proven yourself and prove it. Like, the fact that you think Ed Milet is above you is crazy to me. He's not at all.
ketones. I'm gonna grab them really fast, gonna rock and roll, okay? And you can order, link is in the bio while I order these, pack these up. Still recruiting, duh, yes, of course. Just click the promoter link and you can join, yes. Obviously, max or mega pack, okay? Okay. Yes, I'm answering questions, sure. And if anything feels inappropriate to me, I'm just not gonna answer it because I'm not allowed, I'm not allowing myself to get stressed out or feel stressed out. You're an accelerator. Yay, it's your 3rd week. If you're not in the accelerator, you're seriously missing out. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love that. Ed came to your conference and he was awesome. Ed Milet is awesome. Stephanie Hayden, thanks for dropping the link. I love this. Do you have plumbing marketing advice? I have a lot of marketing advice. I would join the accelerator for sure. What am I selling? Hey, Annette, these are pure therapeutic ketones. They put you in ketosis in an hour or less. The benefits are fat loss, muscle preservation, better sleep, skin, mood, focus, energy, and digestion. And you're every single order will come with instructions. They're very easy to take, just in case. And then I'm packing not all clearance bundles, but clearance bundles, and then anything else you guys order. There are new keto kick bundles though. This is my favorite product. It's like 5-hour energy with no crash. So those are new bundles. Okay. Accelerator is life. Love the accelerator. I love that. So this is not an engagement ring. My engagement ring will have a very large, probably enormous pink stone. This is a self-love ring that Sasha Franz and Anna Harakovic gave me to remind myself every single day to love myself first. So love it.
I feel like there's something weird with the boyfriend. Like, she doesn't show him. And I saw from before she had this diagnosis, I was looking up him because I was like, where is he? Like, why is he off camera? Does he come on? And I saw a post and someone had asked, like, why don't you show your boyfriend? And she said, there's not a ring on my finger. So until then, I'm not showing him. But I wonder if it is that, or if he doesn't want to be on camera. That's the vibe I get, that he's not interested in being on camera. Maybe not, but it's a little weird, the dynamic that is present here, because he's there off camera. And that's what she said online. She's like, well, I'm not showing him till we're engaged. So it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know, a little drama.
No, there's something wrong with ketones. My problem is that I really like caffeine. And I haven't had caffeine now in 3.5 weeks, and I feel like I'm tempted every time I drink a normal ketone that has no caffeine. I'm very tempted to slip in a little bit of caffeine. And so I'm just trying to like be a good girl. You know what I mean? How do you purchase these? Link in the bio. Thank you for asking. Yes, I'm just doing no caffeine. It's like I'm drinking a caffeine ketone in the morning, and then I want one in the afternoon that's also caffeinated. I have to sneak around like, don't do it.
It's like, even if I didn't know, I would be like, let's cut. If she's cutting out, like, she started eating sprouts again. She wasn't eating vegetables. Now she's eating sprouts. Okay. So she's changed a little bit since this diagnosis. Cut the ketones. How about that? Just cut that out. That would be my number one thing. Like, this non-FDA approved thing that I like, am drinking every single day of my life, allegedly. Let's cut that first. Maybe that would be something I would do.
Don't do it, Jessie.
Just in case.
So you guys, if you could please go to the link in the bio and buy all of my caffeinated ketones.
Buttercup, thank you. Buttercup says, that sounded like a not so subtle hint for sure. Yeah, I agree. And I say to that,
get your hearts ready.
Get your hearts ready.
Ketones, get them the fuck away from me. That would just be really marvelous. Anyway, yes. Hold on a second. What does it say? To get into ketosis, it only happens if you drink the entire, drink the entire thing. So you don't have to put 600 milliliters in it. You can actually put as much or as little liquid as you want to in it. It's your first week in the accelerator and you're loving every second of my energy. I love that. Hey, P Miami. Oh, you dropped my link. Thanks, Courtney. That's amazing. So 20 ketones go into the clearance bundle. Buy all the caffeinated. Yes, please. All right, so hold on, 10 more. So hibiscus lemonade, oh my Thai, pudding pop, wild tiger, green apple, banana daiquiri, watermelon sweets, prickly pear, berry and wait, what is that? Berry colada and Fraser freeze. Is that 10? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is 10 more. So let's go. Thank you. I love you guys shouting out accelerator. Yes, the link in the bio, enrollment is open for accelerator. That's my business coaching, by the way. That's not you joining my network marketing team. That's me coaching you how to build a business. So if you see that I'm friends with like Wes Watson and all these people, I am the woman who does the business coaching and crushes it. Okay, so if you want the best female business coach, I should just say the best business coach, but you know. And that's me. I'll see you around town. Link is in the bio. Aviram. Always on the phone. When he's off the phone, we'll let him tell you about this weekend. I'm feeling great tonight. Yes, lots of meditating. I am super relaxed. I'm also not caffeinated. So, you know, let's see. Accelerator Spire, feeling guilty. I haven't done my homework yet. Your head is killing you. Girl, you still got 2 days. Breathe, girl. It's fine. It's fine. This should be the ad right here. Your accelerator calls are fire. Thank you, Britt. You changed my life, Jessie Lee. Thank you very much, Fallon. My getaway was great. Darling,
yeah.
Are you on the phone? Was the weekend wonderful?
It was amazing.
Was it amazing?
Was amazing.
What was your favorite part?
Favorite part?
Yeah. Well, keep it PG.
When we went to the lake.
Yeah.
Meditation. The lake.
Yeah, we meditated in front of a lake, and it was insane. Like, it was very, very powerful.
Very spiritual. Very powerful.
I love you. Can I have a smooch? And can you give me some water, please? I love you. Thank you. Ooh, whoa, come here. Back with that. Please. Thank you.
Show him.
Yes. Yeah, I'll coach you in ketones. Link in the bio. Click on promoter. Yeah, business camp is getting crushed by our leaders. So, of course, you get the opportunity to join business camp as soon as you join me in business. Yes. So, hey, Tina, you should message me. Yeah, I got diagnosed, you know. They said I had colon cancer. That shit is a whack.
See, it seems like she's much more comfortable saying it. What she said in that one post about it, she was like, I'm never going to say it. Don't expect me to say it, which, you know, whatever. Like, it's interesting that she's changed. You know, it seems like she was like, I'm not doing traditional treatment. Now she's going to MD Anderson. So it seems like things are progressing. So that's a good thing, I think, you know, that she's open-minded to change.
I don't know. My scars are like, I don't know. I feel like I'm quite puffy right now, but I don't really care. So, you know what's interesting? Can I tell you guys a secret?
Yeah.
A secret to all hundreds and hundreds of you watching right now. So,
yes.
This right here, this means that like in an hour I'm gonna have to poop. My intestines are all different now. So like, thank you, honey. So this right here.
It's crazy how far surgery has come. Like there's just like little incisions now. Even for like weight loss surgery, like bariatric surgery. You know, I was just watching the 1,000-Pound Sisters with Tammy. That's like my favorite, one of my favorite shows. My friend from high school and I watched that show together when I went to visit her a couple years in 2020. When I went to visit her, and we've like watched it every season. And I even got her my friend, I got her a cameo from Tammy. We just love it. I don't know. We love their YouTube channel and like love the show and the whole family. So parasocially, obviously, I don't know them, but I love their, you know, the show itself. And the surgery is like so small. They just do a little like robot cut now. It's crazy how they can like remove stuff like that. Before, back in the olden days, they had to cut like, you know, full scars, and now it's just like, meep. It's interesting. I don't really know how they do it, but I'm glad.
Is an indicator that there's a poop coming. Because I didn't used to have this little like, but now I have that. So it's because I took 10 inches of my.
Yes, I would. Are you offering that, Sarah? Sarah's Sugar Shack sounds delicious. Thank you. I will order some.
My intestines. Rude. I guess I didn't need them. So yeah, it's very funny. Am I staying with Prove It? Dude, can I talk about my company for a second here for a minute? I've loved my company since I joined 5.5 years ago. I'm forever great, and I hope like, listen, my CEO does not watch Instagram or Facebook, but you guys can go gossip this back to him if you'd like to. So I've loved working with him, even when he pisses me off, for 5.5 years. I've loved working with him because he listens to me in my business mind for 5.5 years. I've loved this product for 5.5 years, and I've never missed a single day until surgery. I love the community that I'm part of. I love all of this stuff. And I will tell you, I've had nothing serious happen to me in my life, health-wise ever, okay? Super, super healthy. like crazy healthy. Went on this ridiculous health journey. As you've noticed, probably, I look at the photos from a year ago today and I was like 40 pounds more, whatever. I went on this health journey where I wanted to get super, super lean.
I just think it's, you know, I don't know how we can ignore the elephant in the room that she probably lost some of that weight because of this diagnosis. Like, that is a symptom of that cancer. So I just think the narrative that she's pushing here, just like, it's in one ear and out the other. I'm like, that's not probably what happened.
Wanted to get stronger than ever. Aside from my powerlifting days, wanted to really prioritize my health and not make any excuses for this. And then obviously colon cancer diagnosis. And the outpouring, not only from Brian Underwood, okay, who is the CEO, but the owner, Terry LaCour, and the amount of treatments that they are helping me get into because of networks of theirs. I've been sent insane amounts of like, not like Myers cocktails that like you can't get anymore. I've been sent curcumin injections you can't get anywhere.
It's like, I don't know if this is what I would want. The owner of Prove It to send me cocktails that are supposed to heal me in the mail. I don't know. Not what I would do. And also it's like, they're like, oh, she's like, oh, these people, the Prove It people are sending me, you know, they're getting me into this stuff. That's awesome. That's great. I support getting, you know, in wherever you can. But like, she's almost like, you know, she's grateful for it, but it's like, these people owe you. They wouldn't have a business without you and without people like you that are working. Like, just have a little more self-worth, but the real self-worth, not the inflated persona of like, I'm the best boss babe. Like these people like Ed Millett and these people you're talking about, the CEO and the owner and whatever, they need you desperately. And you are like, that's expected. You should expect those things from these people, right? Like, you promote their brand so much. And like, for her to be like, I'm shocked that they're, you know, doing this. I'm so happy. It's like, this is the lowest basic level that they could help you. They should be helping you more, in my opinion. Thank you, Heather. Heather chose a pile of poop with a face. Well, for that, I must say,
they're going to be dropping some really powerful, amazing, life-changing shiz.
There you go. I can't play the other one that says not your poop again. Not for a while. We're going to couch that one. But I will say,
You're not freaking fine.
You're not freaking fine, Heather. Thank you.
Except for directly from laboratories, I've been sent like when a billionaire is on the phone making phone calls for you every single day and is texting you at any hour of the day, of the night.
They should. I don't know. Like, I don't care if he's a billionaire or whatever. Like, this person's involved. Like, if he's a person that you think is important in your life, like, I don't know. I guess like I feel like have the standard. Like, you deserve this treatment by these people. Don't think you're lesser than them. They're giving you a favor here. You're doing them a favor.
Of whatever, because they want to get you the best health access. And it's like, when Terry called me and he's like, he called me and he's like, I'm only saying this once. I'm not good at this stuff. I'm not good at this stuff, okay? I love you. I fucking love you. And it's not because of business. And it's not because you're smart. And it's not because we made a lot of money together. I just love you. And then he says, he's like, anything you need. He's like, you can move into my house. My kids will wake you up every morning. We'll cook you breakfast. Get away from people. I just want you to heal. And then he goes, and Brian is fucked up from this. He goes, I really shouldn't tell you that, but we're anything. And so am I still working with Prove It? Oh my God. Like, guys, I am happier and more grateful than ever that I am partnered and aligned with Prove It. There is no other company. The amount of stuff that they have sent me, meaning like flowers and obviously treatment stuff and love and messages and cards and spa stuff and relaxation things and can't wait until you're fully healed. And then I'm taking you to Miraval, which is my favorite destination spa. Okay. Anything you need. I'm going to the Mavericks and what's the other team? Golden State. We're going to the Golden State and Mavericks game. together on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day that is, like it's very different. And so that doesn't happen. Now, am I a top performer? Thank you. I want oil and butter and garlic. I am more grateful. Peace sounds fine. Well, what are you putting Israeli? Are you putting Arabic stuff in it? Okay, I'll take the Avi special, please. Thank you. They're just.
Thanks, Jen. Jen says, I hope she gets better, but sees the light soon. Yeah, me too. It seems like the fact that she's going to the cancer treatment center, though, I mean, that's all you can do really at this point. So, I mean, that's good. So I'm glad that she's doing that. She's going on Friday or the 27th, she said. So, yeah, I think she's doing the right stuff. Now, why she's live, I don't know. That's why we're sort of watching and witnessing that. I'm confused as to what's the point. But, you know, the fact that she's getting treatment is the only thing that matters, really. So I'm happy about that too.
It's different. I understand I'm a top performer. I understand that I've made the company way more money than most people, if not all people. I'm aware. I am just telling you the heart that I have seen. Sasha was asking me a question, by the way. The heart that I have seen and witnessed in the last month. There is no other network marketing company that I would ever consider going to. There's no other team I would consider than ours. Watching our leaders step up, by the way. I don't know if any of them are watching right now. Watching our top leaders, our rank 8s and above, step up and just say, F it, just keep recruiting. We're going to take care of your people, and we're going to make sure you're handled.
That part of just keep recruiting, I'm like, can I just take a break? Can I just sleep and chill? Or just keep recruiting, we'll do everything else. It's like, that's still a job.
I'm never leaving this company. I'm so sorry to tell you. Well, not really sorry to tell anybody. I'm very grateful for them. So, by the way, Avi found out that he is 99.7% Arab, which could not be sexier to me. Wow, holy Toledo. And then it said 0% Jew until yesterday, and it popped up that he's 0.3% Ashkenazi Jew. So turns out that I am more Jewish than my Israeli boyfriend. And that's okay. I'm just going to teach him some Jewish customs so he can feel more Jewish, you know.
Is she Jewish? I would have never guessed. Interesting.
But anyway, so I love that, Christina. That's awesome. But no, it's been amazing. And then the accelerators, like all these people I'm coaching, like we have 1,200 accelerators, right? So the 1,200 of you that I get to coach on a weekly basis and get to see you, like, oh, and Randy's on here. Randy's not rank 8 yet, but she's been helping a hell of a lot. So grateful for her. She'll be rank 8 this month. So it's been unbelievable. So really, really unbelievable. So anyway, I don't know what else to say, but anyway, you can keep asking questions. Let's pack these trials. The boys were asking what I wanted on my pasta, and like Avi like slips Israeli shit into our food all the time. Okay, like all the time. The other day he makes eggs, and I'm like, what did you put in these eggs, babe? He goes, nothing. I'm like, there is something in these eggs. I only like salt and pepper in my eggs. I'm American. He goes, it's just salt and pepper. I said, I have a tongue. There is something in here. He goes, it's Zatar. I said, the f*** is Zatar? What is that? The accelerator is fired. Thank you. The accelerator is unmatched. Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate you so much. If you sign up as an affiliate, how can we promote this? You can promote it however you want to. Just send your affiliate link to whoever. I'd let them know about the benefits of the accelerator. You can take the obviously the resource list of everything accelerator comes with. You can sign anybody up for anything. So yeah, there you go. Why did I check my okay?
Unrelated, but I love Israeli food. It's so good. Growing up in Florida, there's a lot of Israeli restaurants and stuff, at least in South Florida. Oh, delicious.
Guys, if you read the book, hi Wookie, I love you so much. I love my baby girl. If you read the book Life Force by Tony Robbins, he talks about how every single person,
I will never read that book.
Every single person should go get a full body MRI, and every single person should go order one of these Gallery Grail tests, okay? So it's a test that
I'm assuming that's extremely expensive.
Tells you, it's a test that tells you if you are precancerous or cancerous anywhere, and then the MRI obviously shows you everything in your body. And well, I gotta tell you what had happened was both of them came back with colon cancer. And so then I went and I got a colonoscopy the next day because my network is enormous, and I was able to get in. Even the next available was actually, oh shoot, I put that on the wrong thing. Jesse Lee. I don't know if this will come off. I have to reprint this. Motherfucker.
I don't really believe that, but whatever.
I was able to get a next day colonoscopy. I woke up from the colonoscopy, and the number one GI doctor in all of the DFW literally said, that's not 99% colon cancer. I looked at, that is 100% colon cancer. 4 days later, I was rushed into surgery, and they removed 10 inches of my colon. Ooh, it's so gross. I could show you guys photos. Like, I feel like I want to put it in my stories and show you guys what it looks like. It's so grossy.
No, thank you.
But I also looked at everything else, and so it hasn't spread to my liver or my lungs, which are the two places that the cancer metastasizes to. So that's like, whew, hell yeah. That's really, 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 really good news to share with you guys. And then other news is 26 of my 30 lymph nodes they took out, though, did have the tumor in it. So that's really not the best news, but I also don't think it's terrible news. There's no proof yet. We have to have a PET scan on the 23rd. There's no proof yet that it's in any of my lymph nodes or that it's like right here. This was another area that lit up. So that's not good, but and I have quite a few gene mutations, which I knew. Okay, like, come on. I knew I was an X-Men. Like, duh, I'm a mutant, obviously. People said I was human for a while there, and I was like, quit calling me normal, motherfucker. Like, quit calling me normal, ho. Do I look normal to you? Do I act normal to you? Do I lead normal to you? Do I sell normal to you? I am an X-Men, okay? Now, which kind of X-Men am I? I don't know.
Honestly, again, this part, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is a good way to handle it, I think. Honestly, like, have some light and levity to it, no problems.
Well, you guys can help me out with that. I don't really know my X-Men, but I feel like some of you probably do. And I agree with this comment. I've read tons of Dr. Joe Dispenza books again over the last few days, but
not Joe Dispenza. No.
Last few days. I'm like, time is going so fast. By the way, these are I'll just throw it in here and keep packing, but this is going to be, Chrissy is getting 12 keto ups of a variety. So like, let me like lean over here really fast and just put them in here, and then I'll pack them after we're done here, because it takes too long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so keto ups are like Red Bull, but without all the crappy ingredients. Yes, link is in the bio. You can still order. So yeah, I'm an X-Men. Okay, you need to just let me know which one. But yeah, so that's why I did the MRI. I spent $2,500 on a full body MRI. And then I spent $25. Okay, you need to just let me know which one. But yeah, so that's why I did the MRI. I spent $2,500 on.
$2,500. That's not bad, actually. I would think it would be much, much higher than that. I thought like the 10,000 was more accurate. I am not buying this though, that was, I read this book just randomly, and then I decided to do it randomly, and then I got randomly looked at immediately by a cancer like expert, because it just doesn't add up to me. I think, again, there were symptoms and she decided to get it looked at and then found this out, but she doesn't want to tell that narrative.
On a full body MRI. And then I spent $2,500 on a Grail test. And people get mad when I'm like, what do you mean you saved your own life? I'm like, that's what every doctor has said. Every doctor has been like, you ordering those literally saved your own life. And I'm like, damn, that's deep. We're going to get trials of the keto products. Link in my bio. Just go to the link in my bio or go to bossly.com if you need to. So you have to get tested yearly on your neurofibromatosis to make sure it's not cancerous. Jean Grey. Love it. Oh, you got a lot of comments going by fast. I can't catch them all. Can't catch them all like Pokemon. No, you guys are awesome. All the support's been really insane. All of the messages and all of the cool like gifts and cozy stuff and whatever. Like, so grateful. You had surgery 5 days, same surgery 5 days after you. I'm not moving around like you. Girl, I was in very good shape. Pow, 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 pow. We hiked yesterday, like a proper hike. We walked probably, 3 or 4 miles today. I was up the same day I had surgery. I walked 45 minutes, and that hurt wow. But I was like, get it moving, get it moving, get it moving. I was like, ain't no motherfucking way, no way, no way, no way. Oh, what's the chamber? I bought a hyperbaric chamber. So I get in the hyperbaric chamber every single day to increase oxygen. I also get ozone treatments. So I have like, you know, bruises on all my veins now. I get
Ozone treatments, what we just talked about. I don't know. I wouldn't be doing that stuff. That's scary. I mean, I guess it's like, well, what can it hurt, I guess, at this point? But also, I don't know. That seems like a little dangerous at this level, but maybe not. I don't know what's going on. But ozone, they said there was no proof that it does anything.
Ozone treatments every single day. I do high vitamin C drips now. I have cocoon water coming to me, which is like oxygen water. I have, what else have I been doing? Ugh, so gross. Iodine every day. I've been eating broccoli sprouts I've been growing. I've been taking this aloe vera stuff. I've been, oh God, I've taken so much nasty shit, but I'm like, you know what? I'm healthy as shit, okay? Ain't no mother... I shouldn't be cussing on video, but I don't care. There's no cancer left in me. Let's go. All right? So I'm just waiting to get there and be like, oh, I also had stem cells before surgery. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I've been visualizing. I cry every time priming. And I see when I go into, I literally visualize it when I go into, like my appointment and the doctors are like, Jessie Lee, you're cancer free. I keep seeing it and like feeling it like, crying like crazy. So I'm excited. What is ozone treatment? It's so
I hope
cool.
so.
Do you guys want to see this in my stock? I'll put this in my stories for you guys too. So, are you playing in there, Bobby? My boy? So my ozone, this is what they do. They take out my blood, okay? They take out my blood and then they put a bunch, like a high dose of ozone, which I don't know if that's oxygen or like what it is exactly, into the blood. So this huge vial comes out, takes a ton of blood, like literally like this much blood, okay, like a lot of blood. And
Yikes.
They put this ozone in it and then they put it through an LED light and it spins it like really fast, cleaning the blood, and then they put it back in me. Like, it's very, very weird. So it's a molecule of O3. Thank you. I knew someone on here was smarter than me. And so, oh, and listen, this morning, Avi's trying to play some, like, rock music in the car. I said, you better put some worship music on. It is Sunday. We don't listen to that, okay? No devils up in here. But anyway. So that's ozone, and I, like, love it. Doing red light therapy.
So she's doing the blood, not the rectal, so can't relate to Gwyneth.
By the way, also been doing infrared and cryo. So I am like throwing everything at this, everything. So I do think that I am like the vessel to tell you guys to get yourselves checked for all of this because again, no symptoms. I'm doing very bad at packing these trials. It's fine. I'm going to turn around really fast and grab 20 ketones. I also find it, oh, this is a good question. Do you think it's brought me and Avi closer? I want to talk about that. So if I forget about that, like BRB, I want to talk about that. Okay. Yeah. Not today, Satan. Okay. So this is a half caffeine, half caffeine free. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you're watching, got you, girl, got you, okay? And then 10 more, okay? So remind me of the Avi thing. Remind me. I didn't just want to get my asshole checked, man. No, like it popped up. Avi's on here watching, babe. I have to talk to you about something. Come back, all right? But anyway, you had a pregnancy that unfortunately turned, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Dawn. Oh my goodness. All right, so 10 more. Here we go. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. And then she also has 15 Mitoplex, which are advanced electrolytes. Yeah, you can order. Link is in the bio. Yes, we love Elka. That's right. Link is in the bio. Get your orders in. All right. Okay. I felt good. I mean, I really felt good after my surgery. I knew pretty quickly after surgery that I was going to be able to go to Empire U because I was like, I am recovering like a mother champ, man. So yeah, cancer happens when there's lack of oxygen. Exactly. So I'm pumping. Oh, I'm also gonna go get the surgery on my wisdom teeth because apparently my wisdom teeth could have like very minor infections in them that like people don't really know a lot about, also causing a lack of oxygen. I don't really know how all this works, but that's what I found out. So I'm gonna get those like taken down and then PRP in there. I don't know, I'm doing like the most. You're saving a lot of lives by telling people to get checked. Thank you. You're welcome, Nancy. And God works in the most mysterious ways. On the RV drive to Vegas, I was reading Katie Couric's autobiography. Have any of you read Katie Couric's autobiography?
I think so. Her husband had colon cancer.
Anyway, I read the whole thing. I couldn't put it down. I find out that, have I done the biocharger? Yo, I have a biocharger in my home. Yes, I do. I have a biocharger.
The biocharger is like pseudoscience bullshit, like the mango frequency, from what I understand, does nothing.
Charger. I will show you guys that too.
The thing is, like, being so skeptical about traditional treatment, but then being so open to all these alternative treatments, I never understand that. Like, I never will get that.
The mango frequency.
Like, I'm going to do this experimental surgery for my teeth, but I'm not going to do something that the doctor tells me because I cannot trust them. It's like, okay, I don't get that mentality.
But anyway, so I read Katie Couric's book, and her first husband died of colon cancer. I had no idea. And I was like really emotional reading it because I'm like...
Yeah, Katie Couric did like a colonoscopy live on TV, and that was like a big deal back then because it was, you know, sort of like a taboo thing to have or to do. Not to do, but like not, you know, it was like just do it, but don't talk about it, you know, keep the awareness to yourself, basically. And when she did that live on TV, it was like breaking the stigma of doing that. And she was a big supporter of, you know, awareness for colon cancer back in the day.
Why am I reading this right now? And then I realized she ended up turning that into, she's raised over $600 million for colon cancer because of her husband's death. And I thought to myself, this is literally like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. Like, clearly I'm being used as a vessel. So I was like, put the book down, stop reading it. I was like, I can't stop reading it. I just want to read it.
Here's the biocharger. Again, it looks similar to the mango frequency quantum healing box. The most advanced health optimization platform on the current market. Here it is. Can you feel the peace, the relaxation, the transformation? And if the harmonic element sound isn't for you, the biocharger can also be enjoyed in silence. Okay, then what's the point? It says couples who biocharge together vibe together. This couple is celebrating 50 years. Let's congratulate them on that. Biocharger Date. Bay Area Brain Spa is a fun destination for couples, friends, family outings. We have many stations, so you can both find something lovely to do or enjoy some of our shared stations to enjoy together. With over 1,100 custom recipes to target what you need, there is something for everyone. This thing does nothing. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm sorry to say. I know it's hard to believe, but it does nothing. Okay. Personal use. It's alternative therapies, athletic performance, mind and body. Let's look at alternative therapies. Wake up to how subtle energy can impact your overall health and vitality on a day-to-day basis. I need to know how it works so I can understand how it doesn't. Okay. Biocharger NG platform includes complete system with electronic user documents, access to My Cloud, and extensive ever-growing recipe library. Recipes. So you it's like the Healy too. Like, oh. Let's see. Let's take a little break from her.
Aesthetics because there was a product that I was importing.
Hold on. I hate that they have music. So this one says, setting intentions with the biocharger. Let's go to the most popular ones. How does the biocharger work?
Did you ever wish that you had limitless energy and improved health and wellness? We all know that nutrition and exercise are two key factors for optimal health. The third important factor that is often overlooked is cellular voltage. Our bodies are designed to recover and heal through regeneration, or the making of new, healthy cells. When your cells are healthy and functioning properly, you're better equipped to fight back against illness and injury. The body gets well by making new cells that work correctly, and in fact, chronic disease can occur when you lose that ability. Healthy cells equal a healthy body. The sources for this vital voltage exist in nature, in the form of the sun, lightning strikes, Earth's magnetic fields, and cosmic rays. But unfortunately, we don't spend enough time outside to expose ourselves to these natural energies.
In lightning storms.
But now, there is a way for you to gain exposure to this vital voltage on demand. The biocharger is the only system that simultaneously replicates 4 types of natural energies: PEMF, light, frequencies, harmonics, and high voltage.
Isn't the PEMF what everyone's trying to avoid? They're wearing those shirts to like protect them from that, I thought.
And allows your body to passively absorb them in a 15-minute session. When optimal cellular voltage and function are achieved, your cells take in nutrients more effectively, detoxify, and generate new and healthy cells. The biocharger library contains hundreds of frequency recipes that are written specifically to help improve things like energy.
Frequency recipes? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is normal. Frequency recipes, okay.
Recipes that are written specifically to help improve things like energy levels, mental focus, better sleep, and accelerated recovery times. Just sit comfortably in front of the biocharger and select a frequency recipe from the menu. Then relax for 12 to 15 minutes while your body is bathed in the 4 energy types. It is non-invasive, and groups of up to 6 people can sit around it together to get recharged. When your cell phone battery starts to drain, you recharge it. So why not do the same for your body? The biocharger helps people interested in an alternative therapy to support them in their wellness journey. It is the ultimate human recharging station. Biocharger. Charge your life, change your life.
Okay, well, that's pseudoscientific and bullshit. I feel like I already looked this up before. Hold on. We'll go back to the video, but I'll look it up again. I swear there was some sort of like lawsuit or something that they had to deal with. Like, and it's expensive. It's like 60 grand or something insane.
Tool you want to break into the biohacking world with, I would have it be the biocharger. It combines so many modalities into one streamlined sitting. I used to feel a need to go to as many modalities as possible, but when I start with the biocharger, everyone after that feels like I'm just stacking onto something that was already maximizing the benefits for my body. I started using the biocharger to help with
chronic back pain. It's also going to cure cancer, apparently. Okay, cool. Got it. Thanks, Heather. Heather says, used to be into this kooky self-help stuff, sadly, but my spirit guides brought me to this channel. So glad I've crossed over to the dark side. Yeah, man. I never did a biocharger. I think if I wouldn't have gone to therapy, I would have been down that road for sure. But I talked about this one time on the channel, but I did network spinal, which is what Julianne Hough did. Did I ever show you that, everybody? Are we ready to go on a field trip for one quick second? Can I talk about myself? You want to see something I did that was kooky crazy and expensive? I didn't pay because I was giving them video production as a trade. Like, we were trading services, but yeah, we've all been there. No shame. I mean, I do have shame about it in the sense of embarrassment, but I was going through a hard time. Okay. I need to give myself a little grace. A little grace. A little taste. Okay, this is what I did, and you might recognize this person as Julianne Hough, another person from Dancing with the Stars, not to be confused with Fook You. Sorry, I know it's offensive. From Austin Powers. This is a different person. Okay, this is something I legitimately did in an office several times a week, unironically. Now, I did not do it to this level because this takes an advanced level person. Like, you go for years or you're just very dramatic. But I did the low level version of this. Okay. Here we go.
The nervous system.
Please don't make fun of me. Actually, you can. It's fine.
Huge dissipation of energy and a feeling of relief system moves, when energy that was stored or bound up in the muscles begins to dissipate. And if we're really free to express and allow energy that's been bound in our bodies to move through, this woman is like an incredible dancer, actress, just human being, and she has practiced just allowing things to move through. But even with that, things get bound up. Most people wouldn't, in this, especially in Davos, in this environment, wouldn't make that sound. So you know what? They would have physical pain, tension building up in the body. So we've just made it easier for that energy to be liberated. And if you just suspend the story, suspend the conditioning, the body will start.
Take it and throw it.
Okay, I didn't do that. I didn't do throwing air into the air, but I did do the table stuff. You know who got me into that shit? My life coach, okay? She's like, this is a non-negotiable for me. You should definitely do it too. This is life-changing. She needs video work. I'll get you in. I was like, awesome. Excellent. Let's do it. You want to watch something? This is the guy who created it. Okay, we're going down a rabbit hole right now. This is the dude who started this. He's a big Tony Robbins fan. And yes, this was part of Goop. This was a Goop thing. So bringing it full circle to Gwen. I was going to call it Gwen Stefani. To Gwyneth Paltrow. She featured this modality. No, I didn't yell. I did not yell. I did cry one time, but I think I had issues. I know I had issues. Okay, this is the guy who made this whole thing up, and he does like a retreat where you can go and get this done. And again, it's like I needed to talk about my childhood with somebody. And instead, I signed up for levitation class. It's so bad. And like, they don't tell you what to do. So like, you just basically, you're in a room with other people and you see them doing the thing where you're like moving your back. So you just start doing it because you're like, well, this is what they're doing, so I should just do it. That's what I did. Like I laid the first 2 sessions I did it, I just lay on the table and had no movement. And I was like, this is stupid. I'm just going to try to do what they're doing. It's like almost like the Ouija board. Like you feel someone move it and you're like, well, I guess it's moving now. And you like move it because you feel like they're doing it. And it's like pressure, like social pressure to fit in. That's how I felt. Like nothing came over me where I felt like I had to move. It was like, I don't want to just sit here and do nothing and experience nothing. So I'm just going to pretend like it's working and act like they're acting, essentially. But here's the...
Let me show what this might be like.
It.
Not as a demo, in an actual session. And as I'm going to go here, we're going to actually take the energy of the soul energy. And we're going to take it and going to bring it into the axis of the mind. So what is it like if you're thinking mind about rules and who you have to be? What if it's inspired by soul? And what if this is around the experience instead, which is associated with this area? What if this case is the experience of...
Oh, Lauren, I was also drinking. Not at that time, but I had gone from drinking to, off the deep end in self-help, finally into... seeking actual help. So don't feel bad. I also went down that road and I quit and then did this and yeah. We've all been there.
Anger or betrayal. I'm angry because I've been betrayed, so I'm going to keep intimacy away. And what if suddenly your soul knows intimacy is not with the personality, it's with soul. And your mind follows that rules. Could that kind of change your life?
Yes. It's a fucking wand.
And just let you know, this is not my other systems, not network, it's not this, its own thing, inspired what I learned from the previous things. Keep your legs down.
Bitch.
Energy. You might
I
feel
never did
that.
that.
Raise your hand to feeling it. That's the difference. That's how we affect others. With our energy all the time. With more energy, we affect it coherently. Here we go.
Okay, just to bring this again to how I feel about it now. There's people who like to be the center of attention, and you're in a room with 7 of these tables lined up. There's going to be people who are like, and you're like, I don't think you're actually experiencing that. I think you just want to be heard. But that's my 2 cents. I did this for 4 months, maybe 5 months. Yeah. And then they started talking about like, don't take antibiotics. It's bad for you. I'm like, huh? Excuse me? What? And they were like, don't take birth control. Bad for you. I'm like, okay. Why? And then I just sort of like slowly started not coming. Like, I think the way I ended it was like, hey, I gotta cancel my session. And then I just never went back. And they're like, are you gonna reschedule? I'm like, yeah, I'll call later. And then I just slowly never returned. I used to see a lot of Arbonne bottles when I was in the waiting room. Yeah, it's pretty fucking weird. And I feel embarrassed. The most thing I feel embarrassed about is people who never have been in self-help at all, or like spirituality, personal development, nothing. And I would be like, yeah, I'm doing this thing, like earnestly showing them like I'm doing this thing. And it's really cool and interesting. And they would be like horrified. And I'm like, oh, they're just judging me. I'm like, no, help me. Please talk me out of this. This is what I'm telling them now in retrospect. I know I need to, and I've been thinking about it lately. I need to do a full encompassing video about all the shit that I did, all my sins, so I can be healed and forgiven. No, but I think I've talked about it here and there about how deeply involved I was in all this shit and why it matters to me and why I think it's, important to not do this, because I was deeply hurting and continued to try to find more stuff. And none of it was working until I got into a room with someone who understands psychology to a degree and let me talk about my trauma. That's all I needed, really. I mean, I was on medication for years on and off. And like I said, binge drank to try to figure it out, and did yoga and did this and went to conferences and read books, and none of it worked for me except for going to therapy. So I just hope that other people can feel the relief of finding something that doesn't feel like a never-ending hamster wheel of, being unhappy. Because not that I'm fully happy, like happiness I think is difficult to attain. Like I think contentment and like security is where I'm at right now, and I would like to add things back in that would make my life more exciting and fun, and have some goals and bring more positivity into my life again, surprisingly. But yeah, I do want to, I think it is important to be honest about how deeply I was sort of entrenched in this and how fully out I got and how it's possible. Because it is, one thing leads to another, and you can get out even if you're really deep into it. You will lose friends. I lost a lot of friends, both going into self-help and then leaving self-help. So the day ones stuck by and just watched from the sidelines. But you got to learn sometimes. You win some, you lose some. It's hard to get it all right the first time. Okay, I guess I accidentally closed that out. Oopsie daisies. We got to find the live spot again. Sorry. Okay, let's skip ahead. She was here, I think. So thank you for watching that. I appreciate it.
Okay, come on. I knew I was an X-Men. Duh, I'm a mutant.
Oh, the thing is called, for me, it was called Network Spinal. And it's done in a chiropractic office, or it was in this case, in my case. The guy who did it, who made it up, he's got it's like epigenetics, but it's not epigenetics. That's actually something, but it's, hold on. I'll look up their name. Network Spinal. It's also sometimes associated with Scientology. Epi-energenetics. Also, do we even want to watch this Bosley thing? I feel like I'm like almost like not wanting to watch the rest. Like we kind of got through the parts that were updates, and now I don't really necessarily want to hear her say stuff about Jewish people. We'll let her off the hook today with that one, maybe. Yeah, this is it. Donnie Epstein, and he's a chiropractor. Yeah, that's where the video is, and it's supposed to, you know, he's been on Tony Robbins' stage before, and yeah, you know, we can watch one video. It's called the Gate, I think it's called. Let me see. It's like his in-person retreat, and people are just screaming in a conference hall. Donnie Epstein, yeah. Okay, it's called Presence. You ready? Okay. I don't know how much he costs. I think the sessions that I was going to, and like I said, I didn't pay. We just had an agreement that I would do video production work for a certain period of time for the sessions, but they were like $100 a pop, I'm pretty sure. And you have to come twice a week for 3 months just to start, just to get the benefits to begin. And then they say like, okay, you can come less. So it's quite the moneymaker, I think. And here, okay, this is the guy who created this process, and this is his retreat thing, his conference. Anthony Robbins. Okay, so two scammers, Deepak Chopra and Anthony Robbins, aka Tony Robbins. Donnie Epstein's revolutionary methodologies are amongst the most powerful sources of personal transformation I've ever experienced or seen. Sure. Epstein inspires us to trust the healing power within. Sure. Donnie is a genius. To map the fields around the body, work them effectively, and teach others to do it is the definition of genius. Yeah, if you look up genius in the dictionary, it says Donnie is a genius. Only him. Ken Wilber, who I don't know who you are. No, I didn't make this video. I'm not going to show those because I feel like that'll out myself way too much. This is not produced by me. Just a video I was sent by my life coach, who was like, check this out. This is so great. We should do this. You should, I do it already. You should do it with me. And I'm like, okay, great.
Right here and there, here and there, right there.
For more than 30 years, Donnie Epstein twisted nips. I'm just kidding. Donnie Epstein has developed and trained people in energetics methodologies, providing strategies for greater human resourcefulness. This is the first time he's invited cameras to film and share his work publicly.
Perception, slow behavior, the wave moves through.
Okay.
Face down, please.
I'm gonna move. Oh no.
I'm gonna add upper mental. I'll discover, transform. Now I could do this. Look down. Here we go. Pick up here. Here we go. It's all phase of resonance is right from here. Here. Breathe, please.
So I did mine with a woman, was the person who did it for me. But there was like tailbone touching for sure. Like your tailbone got touched, and like, you know, I was cool with it. I was like, oh, I'm cool. Like this is part of my healing. Great. But yeah, if a guy was touching me in that area, I would be uncomfortable. So everyone just joining, I am sharing my trauma. Okay. This is something I thought was going to help me fix my life. So yeah, this is something I know very well. The gate takes place multiple times a year with hundreds of attendees from around the world. Of course, there's money to be made. This is the 163rd time the event has been hosted.
So when we connect to the bioenergetic intelligence produced like level 1 of care, it's at this distance the body. And it results in like the level 1 response as it organizes the connective tissue, etc. When you connect to the emotional intelligence, you get more of a stretch response like you do like level 2A network. The lower mental intelligence, we get the classical wave. The upper, we get a wave with a figure 8. We get to soul intelligence, we get this. The upper part of the soul intelligence is this. And we get to universal spirit, we get this. Get it going, go. I want to see the flexion extension and the figure 8 in it. Got it. Hands. Bio. Flexion extension, flow of mind. Pull more pause for perception. Get the long call of consciousness. Don't worry, be concerned about where it is, just feel it. That's it. Now upper mind, just call upper mind. Call up mind. It's discover.
Yeah.
Big change in the whole system there, huh?
Okay. So in other news, there's a woman who would go to the classes or go to these sessions with me, and I became friendly with her because I'd see her a lot. I was going 3 times a week in the beginning, and she did her sessions like this, like sitting up, which was different, and I was like, okay. And she would like cry, and she would get very into it, and I was like, wow, she's like very advanced in this. Turns out I haven't talked to her in a long time since I left there. I saw her on TikTok that she is now a reformed evangelical Christian and denounces all of this stuff and said like it's all evil. And it's like so crazy because she was taking on clients as a life coach, teaching them this, filtering them into this thing. And now she's gone sort of like me, but on the other extreme side, where now she's like, nope, all of that was wrong. Now I'm with Jesus. Now this is the new thing. Now she's like recruiting people into like her church. It's just so interesting that like some people, I think everyone has the capacity to have to belong to something and have to believe in it fully to feel comfortable. But you're trusting people. Like I looked at her, I'm like, wow, like that could be me one day, watching her on the table doing that. And now like she's not even doing it anymore and she hates it. So it's like, oh my God, you can't really trust anybody but yourself and like your own logic. Like, is this helping me? Yes or no? No. Okay, then leave. If you look at other people and go, oh, well, it looks like it's working for her. In 2 years, that person's going to be like, no, it actually was horrible. I was lying the whole time too. It's like, oh God.
All right. There. Oh, yeah. Get the connection from top and bottom. Feel that connection. The rhythm of the universe.
Where's his wand?
Here we go. This is the lower neck. And by the way, this is the area where we experience some ranges, including the ability to have personal confrontation and the ability to have this thing called anger. Now, some people get angry because they so sure someone betrayed them and they spent a whole life being angry at whoever they felt betrayed them and using that as an excuse not to step forward. We're going to get in this area, and the idea is, what if instead of having anger at someone...
Oh, here's another thing that I should mention. They do this on babies. That is a whole part of this as well. Babies and children. So that is a big part of this. I hear the baby in the background. Pediatric chiropractic care, but like specifically this style. So do that. That's the information. Yeah, that did happen. And there was children there all the time.
betrayed you, you trust that your soul knows, you trust that you're guided, you trust life didn't happen to you, it happened for you. And it's about time to have gratitude for
Tony
life
Robbins.
happened for you because you're still alive. Be here. Move the energy up your body. Keep your feet down, move it up. Here. That's not, okay. It's not.
Yeah, and when I say babies, I mean like born yesterday babies. Like it's very gentle, like it's like they're on the table and they're just like basically touching their spine. But yeah, like and you can even have the service where the lady would come to the hospital and do it to the baby as soon as it comes out, like start touching its back and giving it like the adjustment. Now they call it like spiritual adjustment or whatever. And like you go the whole time when you're pregnant, you do the whole thing. Then as soon as the baby comes out, you're doing those services or whatever this is. Yeah, I thought nothing was wrong with that at all. I thought, totally cool, different, interesting, great, start them young. God. Yep.
Your truth. There's no other truth. It's just truth. Here it is. You've been holding all these people back, and now they could jump with you. That's it. That's it. Right there. Yes. Uh-huh.
Poor kid. Like, how confusing. I know.
And we're going to get this, and we're going to go from here to here, and both ends of the spine are going to rock, changing the tension of the meninges, and that time it's going to totally reorganize the neck. Now it's the lower mind. This allows more clarity in the mind, more focus. Now we can get the soul energy in, which is she's connected to more, and it'll be a little more profound.
What did it feel like when you
I don't know what's supposed to happen there.
I was really wondering if we made the right decision to come, because we're not that emotive or demonstrative.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. I'm a pretty left-brain linear thinker, and this certainly took me out of my comfort zone.
What has it been like so far compared to what you maybe compared to what you thought it would be?
Well, I can't tell you what it was like because I had my eyes closed and I was on the table and sort of like.
Yeah, I really think that's true. Like Fabienne, I think that's exactly true. Like from my experience, yeah, I just looked to the person next to me to see what they were doing. I would like open my eyes. I think they would do the same thing. Like I used to think like I'm the only one that does that, but I think everyone's doing that because I would ask like, explain what's actually happening. Like explain what I'm supposed to be feeling. And it's like, you just got to feel it. It's like, okay, like you'll know when you feel it. And I did, so for me, oh, hold on. Before I let it fall too far, it's loading the thing. Okay, here it goes. Were there cult vibes to this when you were there? Yeah. Yes, there was. I mean, the thing I did, like where I went was a building, a very nice building, an office space in a medical park, like in an area of town that was pretty nice. So, no, it didn't give me like, oh, I'm going to the woods to like, get initiated to this group. But yeah, all the people that were there definitely were woo-woo, definitely for the most part, like prescribed to that worldview. And she offered free like sessions to how there was an audience. Like she would offer that. So you can come on the weekend and like see someone get it done and then, ask about it. And there was definitely like, your kid's got autism, bring them in, that'll heal them. Your kid's got ADD, you bring them in. You got a baby, you want them to be well behaved, bring them in. Like there was a lot of that stuff. Yeah. And a lot of people who were like, I had gastro problems and I came here and now I'm perfect. And just like a lot of like claims, like random that were like, this is healing me from everything. And at first the woman that did it, it was her and her husband did traditional chiropractic, which I don't know. I still have questions about it. Some people swear by chiropractic care. And I know it comes from like you said, like a ghost told the guy who started it and he like hit his dad with his car back in like the 1800s. I don't know. It's something, there's a weird beginning to chiropractic care. It's not traditional medicine. Hospitals don't like it. People have died from getting bad bone cracks. So I never was interested in that, but he would do it for like athletes. And then his wife would do the network spinal stuff. And that's what I did. But then they quietly divorced and didn't say a goddamn word about it. And I thought it was very weird. And I brought it up to my life coach. I'm like, I think they kind of owe everyone an explanation. And she's like, that's not fair. Like they don't owe you anything. I'm like, yeah, but like, it's very weird that one day he's just not there and no one ever addressed it in any sort of way. So I was sort of like, I don't know if I like this either. That was sort of a red flag for me. But other than this thing that I did for several months, I mean, I did the life coaching, and I think breath work was the other big weird one. And that one was like making me cry a lot. And I was doing it in a group, and then I did it by myself. Like I did Wim Hof breathing stuff, and yeah, it would invoke emotion. And I thought, okay, this is good. It's coming out. And I think realistically, it was a lack of oxygen that was causing my body to panic in a way. And it was, causing me to have a emotional reaction that was physical, because it was like, okay, I'm not breathing, because the way you are supposed to breathe, it's like you're cutting yourself off or you're inhaling so deeply. Like my hands were contorting into myself and they're like, good, keep going, keep going. And it did feel like something was, I was like, wow, like that was an experience I never experienced before. But it was like, yeah, because I was like not breathing. I was suffocating myself essentially. So I did that. And I did network spinal and I did a lot of meditating. I meditated for like, I had headspace and I would meditate probably at like 200 days in a row or something. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get control of this. I'm going to fix my life. Yeah. And I would go, God, the other thing I did. So my life coach, her big thing, was this thing called, God, what is it called? It's so stupid. God, what is that thing called? Hold on. Let me look it up. It's basically like, it's like muscle testing. Psych K. There's not much information about it, but it's a fairly small modality, as they say. But basically, it's like you ask the body, like, so I would stand there with my arms out and she would like touch my arm and she's like, do you want to talk about your mom today? And she'd like push on my arm. But like she obviously was pushing on it harder than like on certain questions. And like one time I didn't move it and she was like, okay, let's just try it again. I'm like, what do we mean to try it again? I thought the body like would never lie. Why are we doing this? Because you want to talk about it. So I was like, okay, this is bullshit. But yeah, basically it's like asking your body, like, what trauma do you want to work on today? Do you want to work on? And so the facilitators, now we're just going off the deep end. The facilitators would go, so you hold, like they would hold, like they're trained, right? Okay. So they would go like this, like hold their rings and they go, okay, do I want a ham sandwich? No. Do I want a turkey sandwich? Yes. Okay, I will have a turkey sandwich. And they would just do that for all the questions. And that was supposed to be like Psych K, like their body was telling them what nutrients they needed. I'm like, you're just literally like, whatever you want it to be, you're just like releasing your fingers. And when you don't want it, you're holding it tight. Like, I don't think that's any sort of like secret thing. Anyways, yeah. I don't know. I don't know about chiropractic care. I have no idea. I'm not interested in it because I feel like it's dangerous just because people have had like aneurysms from it. So that's enough risk for me not to try it. And I feel like I'd rather just get a massage. And like I said, you know, it's not a they go to chiropractic school. They don't go to med school. So, you know, they really, I think one thing is doing chiropractic care. If you like it, good for you. No problems. Don't care. But when chiropractors like Joe Dispenza, for example, which is what he is, start telling you how to get rid of your trauma, how to heal yourself, how to get rid of cancer, how to walk from a wheelchair. Like, that's when I'm like, what are you talking about? You are not trained in any of those areas or arenas, and they have the doctor in their name and they start to like talk about antibiotics and birth control and like all this shit that's like not anything that they've learned in school, but they're like, well, I am trained as in chiropractic care, so I can tell you everything about health. It's ridiculous. And that's where I think it crosses the line for me. So that's my stance for now. Anyways, yeah, I need to do that video. And I need to do it soon-ish because I think it's important and it's interesting. And it's been on my mind. And I don't want to hide from my past as much as I'm embarrassed by it. I don't want to hide from it because it is who I am. And I did make a mistake, in my opinion, you know, ultimately. And I did get led down a road that I'm glad now I see the light from. So I don't want to hide it and be like, well, it never happened. It did happen. And I have to live with it. So. Oh no, doTERRA. Yeah, that was also something I bought. I bought doTERRA from a yoga instructor that was associated with all of these places. So she's like, I get it wholesale. I'm like, okay. Didn't think about it twice. Okay, so thank you for joining me. This was sort of a stunted, segmented show, but we did it. We got through it. Gwyneth was a bore snore, so snore bore. But we got to the end, and I'm sorry I didn't finish the Jessie Lee, but there's like 40 more minutes of it, and I think I want her to heal. I want her to be better, and we watched enough of it. That was my take on that. All right, everybody. Peace out. Next, coming up soon, another edition of Offer Audit. If you have any suggestions for that segment where I just look at one offer at a time from a guru or a spiritual influencer or a business coach, send them my way. Best is DMs on Instagram. You can email me too. Or comment on the video. But it's available now. The first episode ever is available. She's a life coach that claims she can make you pregnant. So fun. And related to this flower arrangement behind me. And also, I still am working on, in the background, I'll post it at some point, the Elizabeth Coke, not to be confused with Coca-Cola, Elizabeth Coke video that we talked about long ago. I'll post that too, just because I think it's more interesting than other videos I've done before. Excuse me. So anyways, I will sing my song now and I'll be back soon. And if you'd like to join the membership to get your name sung in a song at the end of all live streams, you can join in the link below, or just join and you can get access to a private Reddit. So you can talk shit in a private setting or talk positive, whatever. There ain't no rules in there. It's a free for all. Okay. And the new emote is coming soon. Is coming next week. Giant hat emoji for all members. So get ready. Get ready. Get your hats on. Okay. One final.
Clear, clear, clear.
Clear, clear, clear. And then I'm still waiting for a Zelda update. They're supposed to post videos of Zelda at some point on the Manatee Instagram. So I am anxiously awaiting that moment to share that with you. And thank you as always for being here and choosing sadness. Toodaloo. Until next time. Ta-ta. Okay, I'm back. I need to link the song in here. Yeah, here it is. Hey. Here it comes now. Grab your textbooks. Grab your wands. We're gonna heal some backs in a conference room. Rain cannon. It's raining in my room. And I'm relaxing and healing my trauma. One session at a time. Starry nights. Got that fight or flight. Parasympathetic nervous system. Healing. Modalities. Nicole Hensley knows about that. Probably not. Nicole Campbell is involved in a scandal with Anthony Robbins. Or not. His name is Tony. Or Charlotte. Charlotte Robbins is not a real person. Angela Arnold. Don't be startled. The names above got weird rhymes, but it's all love. And Marley Hannon. Did you ever wish your name was Marley Shannon? Add the S. You could have two first names, like a console. It's a letter and a name. And KT is a name with extra E's. How cool that must be. And Joms. Your job is to be here and make everyone laugh in the chat, and you always do that because your name is Joms and you are the bomb. And Tiffany, are you blue like the box I see underneath my Christmas tree? 'Cause I got a necklace for me. Actually, it's from Chels Marie. Wow. I was in the flow. And now we're back in the flow. Because Lindsay comes after Crystal G. We're going back up. We can't forget Alaska Blood Tundra. She's been sending out hundreds of members every single day. Thank you. By the way, you are the best. Hey, baby. But seriously, thank you. Very much appreciated by everyone here. And Crystal G, did you make some money today? Don't you give it away. And Lindsay Walden, you got me falling in love with your smoothie potion from Erwan. Kimberly Casse, how much does it cost? $50? You're worth it. Alice in Wonderland 66, can you give him a tip? To Jay Shetty for making me that smoothie. Kimberly Harris smiles. Did you see the movie Lyle Lyle Crocodile? I bet he sings just as good as you. Carasoda too. Acapella team right there. Louise V, you could jump in there. Yeah, I rhymed there with there. So what? Heather Hope says, nope. Canceled immediately. That's what Dave Kelly says too. Your rhymes suck. And as a team, we must buck this channel from YouTube. But that's okay. What does not Jenna Cash say? She says, no, you can stay. Thanks, Jenna Cash. Or actually, not Jenna Cash? El Cholo's Kid. From the chat, you may have hid, but you are here in our hearts. And I want to make a fart. Soundbite, that is. Okay, maybe a real fart too. What about you? We're all in the comfort of our homes, right? Lindsay Walden. Yeah, so nice. Your name is there twice. Double membership. Double friendship. Parasocially. In this family that never met each other in person and only discusses one certain topic once a week. Man, that's peak energy. Everybody, Pancake Breakfast Club, we're gonna heal ourselves. Rub-a-dub-dub. Let me get my wand, lay on the table, and let me tell you a fable. This treatment is real. And it costs $1 million. More than an expensive meal. Somebody called Teal. Swan, that is. We gotta have a Teal Swan episode. No one will say no to that, because that would be whack. She hasn't done anything in a while. Her Hulu show went on and people still followed her anyways. Ain't it the truth? Same with Nexium too. There's still people that hang out at the jail to watch Keith Raniere from the window cell. Why? I don't know. People be weird. But that's why life is revered. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.